Who are we? URT. This is the URT. Big up the URT. You are the URT. Welcome back to the URT. Smash that like for the URT. How are we feeling, Reds? How are we feeling? Shit, I've still got my kitchen. Cooking, you know, I've been cooking, people. Playing R&B music and cooking. Things I have to do to get over Manchester United disappointing results. But big up. Welcome to the channel. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Big up to King Sol. Big up to all you lot. We said it yesterday, man. What did we all say after the window shot? Midfield was an issue, and it shows the ownership ruining this club's future. Yeah, 100%. Big up to all of you. Big up to everybody. Please get in. Let's get in. As you're waiting, please smash that like. We haven't got a best squad. We've got very athletic or competitive squad. It's very unbalanced. We don't have Casemiro replacement. 33 soon. Casemiro runs out of gas. We buckle. Yeah, 100%. We do that. We do. That's all we do. Big ups. Bring the positive comments. Cheer me up, people. Cheer me up. But big up to everybody. People that have been here from dawn. So big up, love, like. We got the. Yeah, we got some of the panel tonight. Yeah, man. Love always, King. So big up to you. Hope you're well. Amarim, game management, horrendous cost us. Yeah, this is how it always, isn't it? But yeah, big up, people. But we got coming up. We're going to be discussing. This is the panel. I've said my piece. After the show ends, make sure you watch, people. Watch the. Make sure you watch my initial instant reaction. Some people are saying it's a bit too far. People are saying I'm just screaming for nothing. But whatever it is. But this is the panel. Hopefully the panel, some of the boys are going to jump on. And hopefully we're going to hear from them. So big up and love to everybody. Please smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, we'll see you after this. But we're going to be dissecting the game because I thought the midfield was woeful. I really thought the midfield was woeful. And I'm like, how is Bruno Fernandes playing that amount of minutes in that position? Now, some of you might say, it's not Bruno's fault. That's not his position. He doesn't want to play. He shouldn't be put there. But it also shows Cunha. What did we say about Cunha? When Cunha plays up front, nothing comes of him. Nothing comes of him. So it is what it is, people. But yeah, we'll see you after this. Let me take this off as well. Big up the URT. Who are we? URT. How we doing, people? How we doing? Yeah, let me quickly do this. We'll do it as early as we can, people. So let's just do the quick. You know, every time we're live, we always say we do the poll. How many of you think it was a point gained or 2 points dropped? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Was it? Yeah. So was it? How can I say? Was it 2 points dropped, or was it a point gained? I mean, how am I gonna do that? How am I gonna do that poll? Somebody help me with a poll. My head is concussed. Somebody help me with a poll. Somebody help me with a poll. How can I put that? How can I basically put what it is? How can I do that? How can I do that? Let somebody help me with a poll question. How can I do that? You know? How can we do that, people? So yeah, pick up Luani's about. Better watch out. Luani, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I've calmed down now. I was cooking. I played a lot of R&B, 90s R&B music to cheer myself up. and now I've calmed down. But I don't know if you saw my instant match reaction, but I was fuming.
I saw that.
I was absolutely
I saw
fuming.
that.
Big
You
up,
you are
Ben.
just you are justified, man. You are
I
justified.
was fuming. What's what I saw that game. Second half collapse again. Big up, Ben. How you doing, Ben? You good? Other than obviously the obvious, but
No,
how are
no,
you
no.
personally?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
We got Ben.
Yeah, life's blessed, man. Yeah, wait till you fucking hear my shit. What I'm gonna say today, man. And there's gonna be a shock, people. There's gonna be a shock today. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. There's gonna be a shock today. So, yeah,
Yeah,
big up.
big up
Glad to be here,
everybody.
man. Blessed
Yeah,
to be here,
big up.
man.
Yeah, big up. Big up everybody. Please smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, the least you can do is like the video. Like the effing video. Like the video. That's what I'm gonna do. Right, let's do it. I figured out what question I'm gonna say. Luwani, talk to me. You're at home, you're not working this weekend, you're chilling, you with family. Did you get your pancakes, your cup of coffee in bed? Did you just stay in bed and just watch the game?
I did,
Big
and
up to you.
I got my pancake, I got my coffee, my egg, but they just taste different because the game was shit. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. Ben, you go first because I still have to gather
No,
my
no,
thoughts
no.
on
Take it away.
what I watch.
Take it away, Lawana. I'm saving my energy right now. I need to save as
All
much
right.
energy as possible.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yesterday I made a prediction of 3-0, and I really meant that. Um, but after watching the game, I'll be honest with you, I'm fuming. I still didn't change my prediction. It still could have been a 2-0 game at least because we were cruising all the way to the 80th something minute, and then something changed in the game and they score. Yes, we always have that second half when we come back, we're lagging a little bit, and they take control of the game and start creating opportunity. But the game didn't really get out of hand at that point. It only got out of hand when those subs came in. Now, to tell you the story, at the 83rd minute, I think there was the camera pan on the bench, and sitting right next to each other was Dogu, Casemiro, and Cunha. And I said to myself, wow, you know what? Maybe those three players shouldn't have come out. And a couple of seconds later, we have Bruno Fernandes, our Captain Magnifico, Bruno Fernandes, our striker, Cesco, and Mason Mount involved in a passing sequence. They lost the ball. The ball go to Odeberg. Odeberg skip past um, Ugarte, pass the ball wide to uh, Udogi, cross the ball, and here we go. Yes, Delete could have done better on Manchester, but that right there should tell you something about how the game is managed. The only way I can sum this team up is the coach of Tottenham, Mr. Frank. He did some changes, and all his changes are involved in swinging the game in Tottenham's favor. Our coach also made some changes, and all the changes that our coach made were involved in handing back the game to Tottenham. So we can sit all day and talk about what individual players do on the pitch, their performance. But at the end of the day, as a coach, you have to have a certain feel for the game. You have to have a certain touch. You have to know after a time period you spend in a league, after a time period you spend with a squad, you have to be able to affect the game from the sideline in a positive manner. And that's the one thing that I think is lacking from Amorim. And that's why I have hard time getting behind his project. As for the game itself, I thought it was a pretty kind of even game at the beginning because Amorim, we set up with 5 defenders, and the only time we switch to 4 defenders is when we let Dogu go marauding, and I didn't think it was coward at first because we were playing at Tottenham and we know they're going to attack through the wing, so that's fine. Sealing off the wing is fine. So they couldn't create anything through the wing in the first half. And their midfield has no creativity anyway, with the absence of Kulusevski and Madison. So Pap Matessa didn't have a half turn on him, so there's no way he'll find that. He'll carry that ball through the middle and find that pass between the line. So we were controlling the game kind of in our own way. It was a controlled demolition, and I would say I think our goalkeeper only saved one shot in the first half, and that was okay. Despite everything our captain was doing, yes, Bruno Fernandes, I'm talking about him. You know, this guy, he was doing everything he can to tank that game and sabotage that game. And the reason I'm bringing up the name of Amorim is that sometimes you just have to take out a player. So if he took out Bruno Fernandes and maybe kept Cunha, I don't know if the outcome would have been different. We would never know because Bruno Fernandes never came out anyway. But this is the situation that we have now. We went to controlling the game to almost losing that game. We only owe our 1 point that we salvaged from the fact that Matthias de Ligt redeemed himself, and with just sheer determination equalized. Look, last week it was Amad Diallo that rescued 1 point for us. This week is Matthias de Ligt. When this team doesn't win game, we talk about the players are not good enough for this manager. Now, when the players pull him out of the mud, less is said about the players that are at that point. When are we going to start looking at this manager? That's my question.
Yeah, big up, bro. We're going to come to that. Go ahead, Ben. Big up, Mumbai. I hope you well. Back to life, back to reality. I said what did I say? I predicted 1-1 or 1-0 either way. And for a long time, it was 1-0 either to United. But I didn't predict 2-2 because I didn't think they had goals in them. And I didn't think we had that many goals in them. We conceded a lot of goals, but yeah, it worked out. And it could have been more if it wasn't for Lamins. I saw him make at least 2 fantastic saves. 2 fantastic saves. So big up to Sané Lamins. He kept us in it today for sure. Go ahead, Ben. And then we'll go to Mumbai. Big up to Khalees from Medina Lassie, Chief Editor United Real Therapy. Make sure you check him out at Khalees from Medina Lassie. All of it. Sport, culture, news, current events, world news, whatever. He's always on the pulse. Make sure you follow him. One of my favorite pages to follow on, and I'm not just saying that, on X. He's on it. Go ahead, Ben.
Bombay, do you want to straight away? Do you want to come in first, or do you want me to go? Go ahead. It's up to yourself, bro.
Go ahead, man.
My energy, man. But okay.
Oh,
yeah.
you go ahead. Take your time. Enjoy. Fuck up, Bruno. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm gonna be first thing then. This could be your day, Bombay. This could be your day, Bombay. That's all.
Wow, especially after what Luani just said. This is
so-
the first. I'm definitely. Let me mute, man. Let me enjoy.
Yeah. This is gonna be a while, people. First things first. I'm fucking fuming. I'm absolutely fucking pissed, man. I think it was 2 points dropped today. I think we deserved it. I think the game itself deserved to have a draw. But Spurs were there for the taking. Like, I think the game was just dead from both teams. Like, no teams were offering shit, man. So, I just want to quickly go into the positives. And Mbumo, quality goal, brilliant header, man. And assists from Ahmad. And I criticize Ahmad so much in these past few games for stop being greedy and start putting more crosses into the box. What did he do? He put a beautiful cross from Ahmad, and Mbumo gets his head onto it, and it was a lovely finish, man. And, you know, this is what I said to all the attackers. I said, look here, just whip some crosses and, like, mix it up. Don't always take your man on, mix it up, and then take it from there. I thought Lamons was phenomenal today. Really quality saves today. I'm not going to give him too much credit because he is only a kid. I only just give him the credit he deserves and just move on because, you know, I want him to develop. I want him to be Man United's, like, up and coming goalkeeper. Yes, we should have signed an experienced goalkeeper. as well. But we're in this situation right now. So big up to Sonny Lamons, man. My man of the match so far, this is where Bombay is going to be shocked. It's a mixture between Dorgu or Bruno Fernandes. I
What?
thought Bruno was quite decent today. I thought Dorgu was absolutely phenomenal. Dorgu, probably one of the best Dorgu performances in a United shirt, but I thought Bruno was actually quite solid today. And I actually I can't believe I'm actually saying it, man, because I fucking hate the guy. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna like him anymore, like him at all. But I just thought I'm gonna give him his flowers today. I thought he was quite solid, to be fair. Off the ball, yes, still a few wee bit of issues, man, but on the ball, there wasn't many fucking like, oh, I'm shit myself. I'm gonna fucking hoof it, or just slow, calm, composing the ball. There's times he actually was telling everyone to slow down, and that's what I want to say, anyways. But the performance himself is one thing, but leadership. I'm sorry, Bombay. This is where I'm gonna come in. Leadership. I don't see a captain on this Man United team right now. I don't see a captain. I just don't see a captain. When we scored the first goal, I messaged Khalees and I messaged Shaqarian, and I said to them, guys, one word: mentality. Let's see how we get into second half and see how the players cope. First 5 minutes, it was a wee bit back and forth. Spurs were coming at us, but at the same time, when Amorim in the second half, we didn't press high at all. We stayed in that mid block, which means I told you, Luana, yesterday, if you played mid block, you're inviting Spurs, you're inviting the fans to actually come at us and say, right here, we're sitting back, let you have the ball, let you have all the ball that come at us, and we're going to stay compact, which is wrong. And this is why we conceded 2 goals. So, when we conceded the first goal at Spurs, not once did Bruno, because I have like when on the website I was watching it on, I can see the whole fucking pitch, and I can see Bruno, and not once did Bruno Fernandes go over to his players when Spurs conceded, when Spurs scored the first goal. Not once did I see any of them like go over to any of the players and say, look guys, calm down, it's okay, we can get back into the game, stay composed, stay compact, just finish off the game with a draw. No. But then see it. We then conceded 7 minutes later. Once again, I then predicted. I was actually tempted to bet. It was that bad. I was so tempted to bet on Spurs scoring another goal. But this is why Bruno needs to be fucked off out of that captain's armband. The bad players. Cunha, too greedy. Pass the fucking ball, would you? Pass the fucking ball. I thought he looked exhausted in the second half. Ligt, you got to do better than that, man. In that first goal Spurs scored, man. You got to do better. Show a bit of strength. Yes, it took a deflection. I don't think it was a good goal. It was a deflection goal. It was a deflected goal. If Ligt didn't deflect it, it was going out. I seen it. It was going out. Cesco, I'm sorry, man. You're at Man United. You're not at fucking Salzburg or where the fuck you came from. Take your fucking chances. Yes, Van de Ven had a great tackle. Van de Ven's world class. But I'm sorry, too much dilly-daddling with his fucking feet, finding his fucking feet. You have a left foot there. Shoot with your left foot. If he would have shot with his left foot instead of his right foot, he wouldn't have got fucking tackled. So fucking sort yourself out, Cesco. Ugarte, man. Oh, fucking shit, should we say. Fucking shite. Take a fucking yellow card, man, when you got fucking done by. Grab the fucker by the shirt and bring him down before they scored the first goal. Ugarte should have fucking took his man down. Like, yellow cards can win football matches, people. They can win football matches, but he didn't. He's just stupid. Ugarte's stupid, and yet once again, Ineos bottom. Amorim subs, people are going to be shocked. I thought they were quite decent. Why? Except for the Dalot substitute. That's the one, obviously, I'm a wee bit confused, because I thought Dorgu was phenomenal today. But Maguire was injured. Who else was injured? Cesco was injured. Yes, people are going to say Casemiro coming off killed us. It did. But I'm sorry, people. You can't keep Casemiro on for a full 90. I've seen it so many times. Casemiro in a United shirt at his all-time fittest. He cannot play 90 minutes. He's literally a grandpa. He's like an 80-year-old man. He's an 80-year-old man. But yes, I thought he was quite good. And yes, I thought we looked shit when he came off. And that goes to show we should have got a midfielder over the summer people. So, the good thing is I like from Amorim today. Like I said, I wanted high press. We got that. What did Spurs do? They were struggling to play out from the back. They had to go long at times. We got the ball back. We kept control of the game, kept control of the tempo. We were making the crowd silence. We were making the crowd angry. Like you said, Luani, you wanted a lot of fouls from Cunha. We've seen that as well. A lot of fans were actually getting really toxic with the referee. I've seen that a lot today. So look, first half, praise Amram got a spot on with the tactics in terms of off the ball. Second half, man, what the fuck are you doing, Amram, man? What are those tactics, bro? Don't just revert and play mid-block, man. Don't just ditch the fucking high press, man, and let Spurs come at us. Sustain the high press. Stick to the plan. Why are we just... this feels like Ten Hag first season, man, where we're just hanging in for fucking results. Go for the second goal. You should be going into that changing room saying to them fuckers, lads, it's 0-0. It's not 1-0, people. It's 0-0. That's the thing you have to... If you're a coach, you have to get into your players' heads. It's 0-0. Go again. Just keep going at them and go ahead. But the second half tactics were absolutely shocking. We were inviting Spurs on to play. And this hoofball, man, this needs to fucking stop, man. This hoofball, this fucking long ball FC, man. What have we become? And why isn't it every fucking coach that's came here we've always played long ball? And do you know what? I've watched Man United in so many fucking years. I've watched Giggs, I've watched Ronaldo, I've watched Cantona, I've watched all these fucking players, man. And like, I never really seen long ball until Bruno Fernandes came here. That's the agenda coming back. But Bruno Fernandes came here. We started playing long ball FC. Here we go. The wing backs, Nerdin, you spoke on it on your match reaction. Brilliant, absolutely spot on. The wing backs and the 10s need to do so much better. When Pedro Porro had the ball, or fuck, what do you call him? The left wing for fucking Spurs. When them two had the ball, what do our wing backs and 10s do? Just sit back. Don't even fucking press the fucking player, man. Like, you're allowing Spurs to actually whip across into the box, and they were dangerous. Like, some of their crosses were fucking dangerous. I was actually saying, bro, every cross they're hitting in is scary. It's actually scary, and none of them are actually putting a fucking foot into the ball or attempt to block it. They're just standing there with their fucking hands behind their fucking back. Fucking go to the ball. You play for Man United, man, and this is on Mbumo and Ahmad, Dorgu, all them ones. Like, just fucking have some fucking courage and just block a shot, man. But we didn't block shit. It needs addressed from Amram. And in my closing statement, a lot of criticism is going to be on Amram, and because he's such a piss easy target. He really is such a piss easy target, right? But the one thing I will always stand for as a Man United fan, I know where my fucking club is at, man. I know why my club is shit, and it's been shit for fucking 20 fucking years, mate. Maybe a decade after Sir Alex, but even before Sir Alex, it was a fucking disgrace, man. Like I said, people, these vultures are gaslighting the shit out of every single fan on planet Earth that is a Man United fan. They're gaslighting you. They're gaslighting you, and people always say, "Why are you bringing Ineos into a Man United game?" And I've heard of this. A lot of people said this. Why are you bringing Ineos into a Man United game? It's all down to the coach. No. The reality is, 0 midfielders, 0 wing backs, 0 centre backs, 1 young striker, not even a fucking experienced striker or a fucking experienced goalkeeper. And the audacity that you bastards out there and fucking online told me it's an 8 out of 10 window or 10 out of 10 window. Go fuck off, man. Actually hold that. Because I fucking predicted this shit, that this shit was going to fucking happen. You know, at the end of the day, there's no protests. There's no fucking riots. This is why I know my club is fucking ruined from top to fucking bottom, and we can blame the Glazers and blame Ineos all we fucking want. It's down to us. We're not doing the dirty work, should we say? Sheffield Wednesday did the dirty work. Ajax did the dirty work. AC Milan did the dirty work. I can keep going on and on and on. Today is down to these fucking vultures, man. Yes, Amran fucked up sometimes on some of the tactics, but I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He's just such an easy target for me. Yes, I dare fucking any Man United fan, and I'll mute myself to say to you, to come on and say to me, anyone in the comments, Ruben Amorim needs to be sacked, but it's impossible. It's impossible to get rid of these owners, man. I fucking dare you to come on to this panel and tell me, no, it's impossible to get rid of these fucking Glazers, because it's fucking not. We've seen it. We're just too fucking brain dead to not do something. I'm not Ruben Amorim in, and I'm not Ruben Amorim out. I don't believe he's the right man. I've said it. I don't believe he's the right man. But like I said, I just know where my fucking club's at. Jason Wilcock. It's not Cox. Jason Wilcock. And Mr. Potato Head from fucking Toy Story. Not selling Bruno Fernandes for 100 million. Like, all these are going to come back at us. And I will not be held accountable if it's just in terms of Ruben Amorim, that deserves to be sacked, or any of this shit. I know where my club, and even Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes is not the biggest issue. I know where my head's at. These bastards need fucking taken down. And I want these, excuse my language, I want these cunts gone. Gone. I want them gone. So my message to the fans tonight, wake the fuck up. Especially the people who live in Manchester, wake the fuck up, and in England as well. Just please organize something. Just organize. I will be there. If you organize stuff at Old Trafford, I'll fucking be there, because I want my club back. There you go. Big up, everyone. Fucked
Big
off,
up.
man. I'm pissed off with this shit.
Big up, Ben. Appreciate you for the breakdown. Go ahead, Bombay.
Evening, guys. Evening, chat.
Let me just get the
Evening,
super
Bombay.
chat. 1 second. Let me just get the super chat.
Okay.
I'll let you go. Sanchi says, I'm seriously baffled. We have been awful in second half for more than two games. I'm so confused who's to blame. Manager, players, left players, right players, or left. Roll the dice. Let's see. Big up. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah, go ahead, Bombay.
For the first 22 minutes, I felt the game was on an edge. They were shading it. Not that they made any chances, but I just felt that they had, we were going a little bit uphill. Then at 22 minutes, we had some sustained pressure. We kind of took over until the end of the half, got the goal. And at that point, I'm thinking they've pressed. They pressed us that first half. And we dealt with it reasonably well. And then the second half, man, we don't have the killer instinct. And the answer to that super chat is that the mentality is not quite there yet. We've made improvements that I will say, from the top of the mountain, but they're just improvements. We have to continue to move forward from these improvements and get better and better and better. Second half, I don't think anybody had like a shocking game or anything like that today. They're a good team. And I said before, it was a 50-50. I thought Dogu today started a bit, chaos, but then he was the guy that was stopping balls getting in. He was stopping crosses getting in on Tottenham's right-hand side. And I thought he played well today. Bruno showed some quality, I thought. Ligt was my man of the match today. I know he cocked up for the goal, but I thought he was solid, And he knows. You saw him put his head down and grin. He can do better than that. But because of that one thing, I'm not going to kill the whole performance. It's 90 minutes, and he got the goal to give us a point. The only anonymous player today was Cunha, guys. I'm starting to feel like we've not bought a guy that is suited to lead the line. He's suited as a 10. When I watch the highlights of Wolves, he seems to like to come from deep, break lines. He's good at that usually, but today, and in other games, he has a tendency to play his own type of game sometimes at his own pace. He needs to understand the context of the game, feel it a little bit more, and just when it comes to, man, don't think I'm turning and I'm going to run. Just bring someone else into the game, shift off, open it up for us a little bit. Today, he went into a lot of brick walls, just anonymous. And at times, his pressing game was poor. Not always, but at times, he needs to be better. And Buemo was breaking his back, getting to where he needs to be, and Cunha's just dropped off. Got to be a bit more intense, man. The press is a team thing, so that wasn't good. On the whole, second half, man, I was shitting it. I was thinking, man, the one he popped into my head, I'll take a point tomorrow. That came in, and I thought, let's get out of here with a draw, and that's all right. When you think about the level of injuries that Tottenham have, they've got a really good squad, man. Kulusevski's out. Maddison doesn't always start because it's a trade-off. If you put Maddison, it's a bit like putting Bruno. Yeah, he gives you creativity, but you won't be able to do what you did against City with a Maddison. That would never happen. You need the Liverpool-style three-dogged guys they have. So it's a trade-off, but nonetheless, he's a good player. He's out. Solanke's out. Kudus is out. These are all pretty big players, good quality players. They're all out. So they've got a deep squad when all the injuries come back. For me, man, that second half, we dropped off too much. We don't have killer instinct. We don't know how to kill games. We never looked like we were creating a lot today, to be honest. We had sustained moments of pressure in that first half, but final ball wasn't quite there. It wasn't great. It was a similar performance to Nottingham Forest, man. We've got to improve. We acknowledge the improvement. Well done. You've done, it's looking better. We're getting results and we're not losing games. A point is going to be points this year. Look at Arsenal now. They take a point at Sunderland. It's tomorrow, City, Liverpool. Everybody is dropping points, but don't lose. Keep the streak going. That is very important in building the mentality. You should be saying to them, listen, we're going to win. But if we don't win, you don't lose the game. And the fact that they're coming back will build some belief that we do come back. We do get back into games. We can do it. It's very important that. If you were just folding and creasing up straight away, this is bad. So there's not much I can learn from that game today, guys, in all honesty. It was a bit of a dull one. I've seen much better Tottenham United games than that. It was like a bit of a fencing. But second half, man, we really dropped off very deep, as Ben said. Mid to low block at times, couldn't get out, licking long balls. And you do start to invite that pressure. They're at home. So they're expected. They have to. It's not like they're playing City or Arsenal or Barcelona. They know us for what we are. It's no secret. We're a decent team trying to find our way, and they're going to go for it. And they did. Thankfully, Pedro Porro could not cross shit today. Every cross was shocking from him. Usually, it's a lot better. And he got taken off. But we have to start. Ahmad, way too easy for them to get that ball in. To get crosses in on that side. Got to fix that. You have to fix that, boys. You can't be allowing crosses just flying in like this. Every time they're down on the wings, I'm thinking, please get out to them. Don't just give them a free cross because there's men in the box. Maguire going off that hurdle straight away, that scared me. When Cesco came on, boys, I just thought he came. He flopped the biggest chance of the game. He left us with 10 men and he got off. That was pretty much Cesco today. But it happens. It happens, That's a huge chance. But that's the speed, man. That's the speed of the Premier League. You don't have that time. That's got to be quick. First time you're through, just take a shot. Work the keeper. Finally, Senny Lemons, man. I thought they were two good saves. They really were. The first one with the legs is awkward. Makes the save, and the second one goes through Maguire's legs, last minute.com thing. He gets to it. But nothing there, bro. I'm just glad we got a point. Is it 2 points dropped? Yeah, you can feel aggrieved, but then again, they did deserve to get back into the game. They looked like the team that was going to score, and to get that point last minute, it's kind of like, okay, woof. Another match gone. Nothing really gained, but we didn't lose and we get a point, only a point. that basically says to me, right, after the break, I'm hoping to see better performance second half for 90 minutes. That's the next thing now. Keep moving forward. We can't keep having this second half bullshit. You've got to fix that.
A question for you.
I just comment. Let me just come in 1 second, Luan, and then you can take him. Mumbai, I just want to tell you guys, I don't know if you guys watched my instant match reaction.
Yes.
I thought it was a disgrace what happened in the second half. And I thought the midfield, I mean, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. You know, I live in like a 4th floor, Ben. I almost feel like I might jump out on my balcony. You telling me Bruno Fernandes in the second half was an absolute disgrace.
Horrible.
I can remember him jumping out of a way. One, he jumped out way. One, he tried to flick it past him 50-50 with Petro, whatever his name is, Mr. Plastic Surgery, Mr. Smiley, right? Who's on horrendous fucking form, right? Absolutely horrendous form, right? Mr. I've been to Turkey. I've had a facelift, horror, right? I'm telling you, the second half, the level of physicality from both him and Casemiro, you see it, the way they get out, the way that donut, I keep mentioning it as like a donut, right? In the middle of a pitch where they get bypassed. There's zero physicality. Everything I talked about last night, all that became in the second half. All of that became in the second half. I have mentioned more than one occasion. I have said playing Cunha up front by himself is no use.
He wants to get involved, too much.
No use.
Yeah,
he's no use. So you might as well play Bruno. You might as well play Cunha where Bruno played and play Bruno up the pitch as the false 9. You might as well done that because Bruno's no use in the middle. Absolutely no use whatsoever. Second half, the fact that he wasn't taken off showed me everything I need to know about this football club. Everything I need to know about this football club. Horrific. Absolute horrific. It was horrific. I can't lie. It was disgraceful. The midfield, Ruben Amorim is a fraud. He's never going to be able to convince me playing the two people he's playing in midfield and Manchester United winning away games. We have to fluke it like we did against Liverpool, where my guy hit the post 4 times or however long it was. We have to fluke it like that. We have to have a lot of luck for us to win a game. Because in the second half of games, especially if you're winning, your midfield has to stand up to the test. It needs to take the sting out of the game when they're getting ahead of themselves. You need to be able to have the path and the quality for you when you win it in the right place. Set your strikers on for free to go and score the second goal and kill the game and demoralize. And what most of you are forgetting, majority of you in the chat and everybody else is forgetting, is this. Manchester United played against a team that is so toxic with their fans and their coach at home. They're in the bottom 3, right? In terms of bottom 4, in terms of home record in the league. 11 games gone. They're in the top 3 or 4 in terms of their home record. Their fans boo them at halftime. Their fans boo their substitutions. And you could tell that all I could hear throughout the game, when I could hear it, I could hear the United fans singing all the songs. All the songs. We've seen it all. You know, all of them, the Busby songs, United fans are singing. I couldn't hear any Spurs fans until they scored. So what people are not grasping is the fact that Manchester United is a disgrace. Staffy, let me know, bro, if you want to jump on. I can send you the link. Big up to you, King. Appreciate you. Always love. But the big thing for me is that this is what you're doing. Again, another second half, another collapse. Yeah. And if it wasn't for Sonny Lamins in the first half, Bombay, where you were like, oh yeah, it was half and half, whatever it was. In the second half, in the first half, Lance Simmons kept us in the game. He made 2 fantastic saves.
I disagree, though. Those balls were straight at him. He was not.
One of them was.
It was good save, but it was not like
sorry.
some world class.
I'm sorry.
They're good saves.
Luani, I need you to go and have a look at the second one where Paulinho does it. where Paulinho does it, right? Paulinho takes a shot. It goes through so many different bodies. It goes through so many bodies that he can't see, and it's a reactive one. The other one, when with from the Argentinian centre half, that's a world-class save with his fucking legs, Luane. I don't know how I can't.
He was all straight
That
on
is a
him.
world-class save with his legs. To have that instinct reactive when the player is that close to you, defender and player are on top of you as a goalkeeper, and you instinctively put your leg in the way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So let me just listen. I'm not gonna get stuck on that point. The point I want to make to you is that another second half, another fucking collapse. What did we offer in the second half? How many shots did Zakaria have to make in the second half? How many times did we test their goalkeeper? How many times did we have the opportunity to go? And the only chance we've created is that Mason Mount brings the ball down and reverses it to Cesco. And by the way, I'm really hoping he's all right, because that looked like he jarred his knee. That looked like it could be a crucial ligament, or he jarred his knee. That's what it looked like. And then he's too late. He's too late taking a chance. 3 times happened to him. This is not Germany, my friend. You've got to smash your look. You can't be waiting. You got to hit it first time. You can't be thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." No. The 4 players that stood out to me today was Ahmad, Mbemo, Dogu, and Lenny Salmons. Those 4. Those were the 4 players that stood out today. But again, the coach in my in-game management, shocking. Absolutely shocking.
The best player we had on the pitch today was Casemiro. And I will not take any slander on his name. He's the best ball progressor that we have. He's the best ball progressor that we have. And once they take him out,
Luane, respectfully, let Sean have his say. Then we can go around and then talk about a different point. Big up, Sean. I hope you're well.
Big up, Sean.
Sean, big up, guys.
I bigged up Bruno today.
No, I mean, I appreciate that, you know, and you disclosing as well.
Not his leadership, Sean. Not his leadership, no.
Let me just get this super chat. Big up Sanchez says, the day we play without Dalot, Harry, Bruno, Casemiro, Luke, we will have some success. Big up. Look, go ahead, Sean. I'm going to
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, again, mixed feelings today. On one hand, you could say that this is a sign that the team is getting even stronger, even more resolute, right? There's the sense that we would always come back. That's worth holding on to. On the other hand, there's the second half madness. I don't know what it is. 5 minutes of madness. I just seems to, you know, afflict this team whenever we come up against difficult opponents. So mixed feelings. I think I don't begrudge Amorim for the subs that he made. Me personally. I thought those were exactly the subs that needed to be made. Ugarte coming in for Casemiro, Messi Mount for Cunha. Exactly like that. I thought we needed some energy in midfield. I was shocked basically to see what Ugarte came up with. He was terrible today. I think he was at fault for the first goal. You know, his man basically just ran past him. And Cesco, I mean, we spent, I think, 30 minutes last episode, you know, whining about some mild critique from Gary Neville of Cesco. And I'm just reminded, basically, of that and everything that everyone went through this week. I think Cesco has a lot of stepping up to do, personally. Now that he's injured, maybe Amorim would play Xerxes. But I don't see why somebody like Xerxes, who, you know, went through the education that we need Cesco to go through, Xerxes has already been through. It's like he had a terrible start. He found his feet, you know, and he became effectively one of the best players basically for this United team last season. So like the fact that he can't even get a few minutes today is kind of shocking. But yeah, there's something in here for everybody. Basically, if you want to focus on all the ways in which this team is vulnerable, sure. If you want to focus on the hopeful aspects and the fact that the team looks like, you know, slowly and surely we're getting somewhere, you can. I think Dog will look good because she was playing next to Mbeumo. Like I just can't believe how much quality basically Mbeumo has brought to this team. So like he's proven today that if you need somebody to work hard, put in a shift both offensively and defensively, Mbeumo is the guy you call on, whether on the left or on the right, because he stepped up today in a big way, and I think made Dog look even better than normally he does. So there's the game was ours for the taking. I think we were unlucky to concede two like that. The way Cesco went out, I mean, for him to leave like that, it must be a terrible, bad injury, and I feel bad for him. But I think he needs to take a back seat for a while. Whatever solution that we're going to find right now in the interim is going to have to be without Cesco. I hope this means that Xerxes gets a shot for the next few games. And maybe everyone takes a break. We could have been second, I think, for a few minutes this weekend, right? And I was really looking forward to that. And it seemed like for large parts of this game, that was what was going to happen. But I think today is the compounded effect of our Casemiro, dream, right? I think we have to wake up from that dream. As good as a player as Casemiro is, every single day he just reminds us of the guy that came from Madrid. He has evolved into a positionally astute midfielder, so he doesn't have to put in, so many tackles. He doesn't have to run around too much. He just knows where to be all the time, whether in defense or attack, and you can't buy that. But at the same time, we need somebody with legs. And I think the club has no choice but to go into the window in January, because we can't survive with Ugarte, and Mino isn't the person to play that position. So I mean, let's go on the break. I think we have enough ingredients to beat the Evertons and the Brightons and the West Hams of the world. We will figure out how to get over Spurs and Arsenal and Man City next season. I think if we do that, if we beat everybody we're supposed to beat, and not lose against the topper teams, we will find ourselves in a Champions League position. And I can't ask for more than that this season.
Yeah, big up.
Okay, big up. Just want to go over the tactical aspect of the thing, and a couple of things that I disagree with. Ben, when you say that today we did a mid block, I don't really think we did a mid block, because we play with 5 defenders at times, and we switch from 5-3-2 to a 5-4-1. You can't really do a mid block while playing with 5 defenders. There will be just too much space behind your defenders on the wings. Now, at the beginning of the game, we did try.
One second, Luwani. Yeah. 1 second. Staffy, please tag me in a tweet on X. Tag me in a tweet, because I can't find you, bro. I thought I had your number, but tag me in a tweet. Big up to you, love. Go ahead.
So at the beginning of the game, we did press high a couple of times. To be honest, both teams decided to play out the back. They didn't go too long. Both teams actually. Tottenham tried a couple of times to play through our press, and then when they couldn't, they went long a couple of times. That was at the beginning of the game. But most of the time, we defended with 5 men, and what I didn't like about us today is that we didn't have any width. So we sacrificed the width. We play with Ahmad, Mbomo, and Cunha on top. So what we did, we compressed our top 3 into the midfield behind the Tottenham defense line, so we can keep a control of the midfield, or preventing them from playing through the midfield, which we did. I mean, I can say we did it successfully to a certain extent. We were 1-0 up all the way till the 80-something minute, and then the whole thing fell apart. The reason why I will not take any stand on Casemiro, because every time something happens, we tend to come back to the double pivot of Casemiro and Bruno. But we also need to understand that it could be just one man that's sabotaging that double pivot. If we look at in our midfield, Casemiro is the best midfield progressor of the ball that we have. On the past 3 games that I've watched, he was our best mid. He's always in contention for man of the match. The benefit of having maybe the whole Saturday to watch games is that after the United game, I didn't turn my TV off. I just went to the next game, which was the Burnley and West Ham game. And there are always recognizable patterns when you watch games in which you don't have any interest, rather than the one you are emotionally involved in. I watch Burnley go up 1-0, and during the game, both coach at the point make some changes. And when everything fell apart from Burnley, they were dominating. Everything fell apart from them when their coach took out Okechukwu, their midfielder, and give the control of the game to Espirito Nuno. And before you know, they scored 3 goals in a quick succession. The issue, what we underrate in football a lot is the element of control. We think defending have all to do with putting 9 men behind the ball, which we did today, and have midfielders with a lot of energy. But defending also have to do with an element of control. When you lose that element of control and you surrender the ball to the other team, you're just putting pressure on yourself.
But Luani, we never had control. We never had control in this game. Now, I would venture that throughout the game, we were always basically relying on our defenders, Luke Shaw and the Ligt playing well, diving into tackles. We're relying on Mbeumo and Ahmad being able to hassle those guys. What's his name? Van de Ven tried those runs a few times. There was no joy for him. But on the ball, we were poor throughout the game. If you ask me, I agree with you that we lost some control.
The reason
when
why
Casemiro left
on the ball, the reason why we put on the ball is that we didn't have any outlets, right? The past 3 games that we played, our outlet were Mbeumo and Ahmad on the right side. The question I have today, the first question I have is that why did Amorim break up that partnership and move Mbeumo?
But it was obvious why, Ronnie. It was obvious why. It was obvious why he wanted somebody who was going to work hard, basically, because Tottenham is strongest on their right. So he needed somebody to provide defensive cover for Dogu and also be good in the transition.
Why do you want to why do you want to give defensive cover to Dogu, who's already athletic, and you're already playing with 3 defenders? I think that is the level of pragmatism.
No, but Luani, that's football now, right? That's football. It happens. Like you can't.
If you're playing with a back 5, no way.
It wasn't a back. Well, second half, it wasn't a back 5 at all.
No, we play with a back 5.
It wasn't a back 5.
The only time it was not a back 5 is when Dogu is released to go Marodin and he turned into a back 4. But either way, right? Either way, when you're playing with a system with 3 defenders and you turn into 4 defenders and sometimes 5 to do a low block, it's too pragmatic. You are surrendering control.
No. One hallmark of this game was that quickly the United players recovered their positions behind the ball. Like we played a mid block, we played very tight and compact, and immediately the ball was lost. You saw everybody run back basically into shape. So that was the good thing that I think we had going for us this game. Like we were not good on the ball. We weren't too sharp like in possession. We weren't playing any like silky 1-2 passes here and there. But the team looked solid for those 80 or so minutes that we did. And as soon as Casemiro left, basically as soon as Ugarte came in, he was bamboozled. They ran through the middle, laid a pass off, and we conceded. And basically, once that happened, we lost our nerve. So the Ugarte problem, I agree. I agree that Casemiro needs a replacement. I don't know how we're going to fix the problem, but I think it's only going to get worse the longer the season goes.
The bigger issue that I have, Sean, is that I said that we're one-dimensional, we're right side heavy, right? In this game, we went left side heavy. Ahmad, that was supposed to be our outlet on the right side, have been relegated to defensive duty. And last game, we know that Gibson dunked on him. So why are we, as soon as we relegated him for defensive duty, instead of having him as an outlet? I'll give you an example, right? Today, there was the ball that came in, and Ahmad was in our own box. He cleared the ball, and the journalist was saying, why didn't he have the composure to clear the ball? Because the ball was going to come right back when Tottenham have pressure. So I was thinking, why is he not at the end of that ball that is being cleared? He was supposed to be at the end, hugging the touchline on the other half, and when that ball is cleared, that will give us an outlet. And that's the thing that I have. That's what I have an issue with our coach.
Well, see, do you know the way you were questioning why Mbeumo's on the left-hand side? Like, it's nothing to do with the defensive cover with Dorgu. It wasn't whatsoever. Have you seen how dreadful Pedro Porro is as a right back? He was getting fucking cooked today by Dorgu and Mbeumo itself. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought he would have played Ahmad on that side, but no. He played Mbeumo and Dorgu. And this is why, as much as I fucking hate him, he's a massive agenda against him, but I've always disliked him. This is why I actually thought Bruno had a relatively solid game, because he was actually linking up really well with Mbeumo and Dorgu. I'm sorry, I'm
what
sorry.
you saw from Casemiro and what
Bruno,
you saw from
Bruno was
so well.
horrible. I can give you
what you
three.
saw from Cunha,
I seen a few.
what you saw from Casemiro, what you
was
saw
shocking.
from Bruno
was shocking.
in the second half. I don't know what game.
Bro.
I swear to God, we must have been watching totally differently. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty.
That's the beauty of football. Yeah, and I hit him there.
The
I
beauty
fucking
in
hate him.
the
Yeah.
beholder. But go ahead, Trebles. Let me hear
Yeah.
from Trebles. 1 second. Trebles,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Pick up Trebs, man.
Trebs, you there? I don't know if he's there. But yeah, I just, for me, second half, Manchester United lost control again.
Yeah.
And the team, like I said, I insist, their fans were booing.
They were.
Were booing their substitution, booed them at halftime. They weren't doing anything in the first. They weren't really making, other than that, the couple of saves that Sonny Lamins was making. They were terrible. They didn't have too many players in the box.
Sorry,
Every
Nuri,
time
sorry.
the number 10 went up there, they had somebody in the box. And then, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But
Sorry,
go ahead,
Nuri, sorry. Do you know what? Yeah. I'm going to start with positives first, because I'm always negative in it. I'm not going to... Do you see, I've said it before the game, innit? We're not, before the... when we're playing, we're not... I don't think it's going to be a Man United win. It's going to be either a draw or Spurs might win it, innit? That I call that. So I'm not really going to get too pissed off with it, yeah? It's points dropped, but we can just kiss our top four hopes goodbye. It's because we've dropped too much points. Do you know what I'm saying, innit? So... to us, at this rate, we're not even going to get 6 spot. I want to talk about Dogu, who I don't rate highly. Yeah, let's talk about Dogu. He came off. Why did he come off? And what's with the Opagada tax? I know you have to take Casemiro off because something in Brazil said that he has to come off in it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we've got to do with the internationals. Okay, fine with that. Yeah. Why is he taking Dogu off? Do you know what? Yeah. Forget all of that. We never lost. Positive, yeah. Let's be positive. We drew, yeah. Even though that's a point dropped, yeah.
Yeah, big up.
I want to talk.
The raid from Tactical Devils, great. Big up, love.
Big up. I want to talk about Bruno Fernandes. That brother there. I'm not gonna lie. I've said it in my last stream last season, yeah. On the last stream you had probably back in May, yeah. The closest trophy that we're gonna win with him was an FA Cup. He is not gonna win us a Premier League or a Champions League. That brother there, he is a calamity and he's an accident waiting to happen. Today, what I'm gonna do is later on I'm gonna watch the full game back. Yeah, I'm gonna send you on your Twitter DM. Yeah, this guy killed all of our attacks today. All of our attacks. No one passed the ball. Cunha, same. Cunha was shocking. Wants to be Messi, dilly dally, doing this and that. You know what? There's so much you can blame for manager. If he actually passes the ball and they look up, we'll probably be 2-3 goals up by now. And nobody's going to talk about, oh, we conceded this and that. Do you know what? It's points dropped. And how many more times? And one thing I do agree with you on, Amra's in-game management is fucking shocking. He thinks he won it at 1-0. I don't understand, bro. Like, with all due respect, I can say this. Diego Simeone is winning us that game. Allegri is winning us that game. Mourinho's winning us that game. These are fucking tactical managers who know how to fucking shit house, who know how to fucking get it. Stop fucking thinking you've won the game. Stop doing it. It's fucking happening against Nottingham Forest. Stop doing it. It's annoying. And I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because to me, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think it's another top 8 finish. And do you know what? If they give Amran another season, good luck to them. Because to me, 1 game a week, I'm not seeing any difference, Noradin. I'm saying these 3 wins that we had, it ain't gaslighting me, bro. It's not gaslighting me. So I'm just going to sit back. We only positive I could take this international break. We didn't draw. Tottenham fans, they said on their spaces, it felt like a loss to them because they were the ones that were there for the taking after 2-1. It felt like a loss to them because they're going international break thinking, fucking hell, man, we should have won that game. But how many more times are we going to drop points? And this deluded fan base, we're in a title race. Do you know what, mate? Your dealer is a crack dealer. You don't smoke weed, you smoke crack. Where are you getting a title talk from, bro? Where are you getting a title talk, bro? We're not going to win no fucking title, especially on these fucking owners. Do you know what I'm saying? So, to me, it's Amran, he needs to sort out this in-game management. I'm sorry, you are not going to go places like this. It's really, really started to get on my nerves, bro. Like, Amra's footballers, yeah, Nuruddin, do you know his footballers? Go long, yeah, go long. That's number one. Don't go for the second goal. Stay at 1-0 and sit back. Did we defend properly? There's ways of doing it. There's ways of doing it. Glasses knows how to do it from Crystal Palace. It's every single time he does.
We can't dictate anything. We can't take the stink out of the game when we need to. We can't go and play through. Midfielders are the people who play through to your forwards. Actually get them to go and get that second goal. Create the chances, but they didn't. Big up Trebles. Big up Staffy. Making his debut in URT. Big up, bro. I appreciate you, King. I hope you well. Sending love. You know, over there is a madness, but yeah, big up Mumdani, man. Big up Mumdani. Go ahead, bro. Talk to me.
Wait, did you come to me? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I come to you, King.
Oh, my bad. No, big up the panel, big up the chat. No, I was just listening to you guys a little bit on some of the stuff you're saying, and I hear the frustrations. I was a little bit frustrated too as well today, but I feel like some of us look at things just differently than other people. Some want to look at as a positive, and I it's not like I want to look at it as a negative, but I see the reality in what happened this game and last game. And I struggle to just skip over all the issues that I've seen and just say, well, thank God we left with a point today. Well, no, these two games, the majority of the game we were winning, and we left with only 2 points out of 6. So I look at it and I'm like, I can't really celebrate a point when I could be looking at 2 games where like, wait, we collapsed in 5 minutes against Forest, and we collapsed in about 10 minutes today against, or maybe less than 10 minutes against Tottenham. And to me, I just look at that and I'm like, well, why? I couldn't believe, I don't know if you guys saw the quote from Ligt after the game. He basically tried to say,
they played like they were tired. They did. We look like Tottenham play on Wednesday. They play 2 games in 3 days.
Not even that one. But go ahead. Finish and I'll tell you the one I'm talking about.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to disrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I know he said a couple things. It's not even that one. So
he said we're tired, and I'm like, what the hell? We tired? Like, what the fuck? We tired? Like, Spurs played 3 days ago. Played a Champions League tough game. What are we doing here? But go ahead.
Yeah, and we didn't even play midweek. This wasn't even the most damning thing to say, because I believe it. Players could be tired sometimes. Maybe because we spend most of the game chasing the ball rather than having the ball, the players are tired. Maybe that's why. But this is a more damning statement. Listen to this. He said, last year we lost to Forest and Tottenham 1-0, but last week and today, we have the fire in our bellies to fight back and get a point. The season is long. Drawing 3 games is more important than losing. It reached a point where, I swear he said that. It reached a point where I swear, I feel like Emery instilled so much defeat in these players that now we're ignoring everything that happened and we're just saying, well, at least we left with a point. And I was on a stream earlier on my channel saying this, reading this quote, and I said, like, basically what Ligt is doing is he's skipping the first few chapters of a story, and he just goes to the last chapter and says, based on chapter 4, we were losing the game and we left with a point, therefore it's a happy ending. Well, if you read the few chapters before that, you're gonna see that we took the lead, and then we conceded a goal, and then we conceded a second, and we needed to salvage it in the last minute. And it's like, why do we keep getting in that position, especially over the last 2 games? And it brings me back to the whole thing about the 3-game run and all that. All these games that we were winning, and when people like to say we're 5 in a row without a defeat, I don't think a lot of it is tactics. I don't think a lot of it is we've developed a style of play. I don't look at any of these things. I don't see anything that we've applied in those wins that we've been applying in the last 2 games and we're like getting unlucky or something. No, not at all. I saw a team today that's facing a Spurs team. I don't know if you guys know this. No one has lost more home games in the Premier League in 2025 than Spurs. This is the arena. This is the stadium where the home team loses the most. No one else in the Premier League has lost us more at home. And we went and we played conservative against them. We put more defenders on the pitch than attackers against them. Today, people were talking about us salvaging a point. We salvaged a point against a front line that had some of these names today. Odebert, Tell, Richarlison, Kulumawani, Javi Simmons. And you know what? I'm going to read a stat to you guys, and I don't want to hog the mic, so like feel free to come in at any time. I'm going to read a few stats to you guys because these are some statistics from today's game. The team that had the 5 attackers that I just named, by the way, versus us, they've had double the shots on target, more possession by like 56 to 44, and they've had about 60, I think it was 62 final third entries. We entered their final third only 30-something times. I think it was 38. So almost double the entries. Mind you, they have the names that I just named, and we have on the pitch today, we had on the pitch Bruno Fernandes, Amad Diallo, Mbuemo, Cunha, Cesco. These are the attackers that we had, and they had Richarlison and them guys. And they put up the better stats. So when people say, oh, but at least we left with a point. But why am I leaving with a point? I know I have a better team than them. So why am I salvaging a point? And you know what it came down to, Nuruddin? I actually tweeted this. Someone put a video saying the fact that we lost to these teams last season and this season we picked up draws, it's an indication of improvement. And you know what I did? I looked up the definition. I wanted the actual definition of Stockholm Syndrome. You know, it's a symptom of Stockholm Syndrome. Is when you feel gratitude when you get the littlest of favors. So basically, if someone just kidnaps you for a week, tortures you, and then a week later they give you a cup of water, you feel like they just did you the biggest favor in the world. That is what's happening with Ruben Amorim right now. Because we finished 15th and we've reached so much below our levels, the fact that we're getting points right now, just 1 point against teams that we, on paper at least, should be doing a lot better against, we're feeling an insane level of gratitude. That is literally what Stockholm Syndrome is. So when people say, at least we left with a point, well, I was better than leaving than before. When I was leaving with no points, I was already better than that. So the fact that I'm leaving with a point now, it doesn't change the fact that I should have been better. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to come in and say.
I'm looking at the fixtures, Nuruddin, yeah, and I'm not going to lie. We got Everton, Palace away. I don't know the order in it. We got Bournemouth in December. We got West Ham. I know people saying West Ham have not been great, but cool. They've got a couple of few wins. It's going to be a bump. No, it's going to be a bumpy ride, bro. We're in for a. I don't know, man. We're totally looking at the fixtures, bro. I just don't know like this because I've said it many times. This guy's in-game management is shocking. Bruno Fernandes is Bruno always wants to do things. Cunha wants to be messy all the time, trying to take too much touches and not pass the ball. I don't know where we go from here, Nuruddin. If we just go look at the stuff here, if he can actually put the fixtures and read out to people, it's looking very, very spooky, bro.
I mean, to be fair,
it's dangerous. Do you know what I'm more worried about going to? The most teams that I'm very worried about, Bournemouth and Palace. But I'm literally
Palace away is going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm dreading when we play them. The way this manager sets up and the way, I have no words, man. Let's see what happens, innit?
We host Everton next game, then we go away to Palace, and then we're home again to West Ham, and then we're away to Wolves. Essentially, I mean, West Ham and Wolves, those are the fixtures that we should be looking at as easy points. And
I wouldn't say West Ham will be easy. I wouldn't say West Ham on the Nuno.
They're non-negotiable. They're non-negotiable points. I'll be honest with you. They're non-negotiable.
The thing that worry about this team, though.
You know what?
The thing that worry.
Let me just come in because there are a couple of things that we need to discuss, Luani, and I'll let you come in. For me, is another. I think Staffy you hit this nail on something that I've been thinking about when you said we could have lost those games, and a lot of those it's basically the framing, this toxic positivity in the fucking fan base, yeah, and the framing and what type of football club that we are right now, right? So the standards of Manchester United have been dropped so low. Now, the fact that we're not going to finish 15th this season, we're supposed to be happy about.
What place are you guys on?
Let me finish.
Like,
Sean,
it's November 2025. Like, this story is still.
Let me finish, please, Sean. Let me finish. But the fact that when we look at games and we look at the collapse, the mental, I called it fragile in my math. So this is a fragile football club, fragile fucking players, and a fragile fucking concussed coach. That's what we're saying. And for me, when I watch second half of games and we're holding on to 1-0, and I'm like, okay, let's get this transition then. Hit them. I don't mind you playing for points at this moment in time. So let's suck them in and hit them in the space. I mean, Spurs took off defensive players and bought on attacking players, and we still couldn't find any room to go and attack them. Like, I don't understand this. I do not understand this. It's abysmal, but the standards, that's what you got. You got twerkers, toxic, positive twerkers, yeah, who have to, with the pom-poms, yeah, for fucking Ratcliffe and the Glazers, because that's all they're about, protecting that. At the end of the day, everybody and their nan can see, whether you like it or not, Bruno Fernandes combined with Casemiro, it's not working. The lack of physicality in midfield, it's unbelievable. I don't know what games I watch. Maybe because I played in midfield. Like, you have to make challenges in the game. You have to be able to get on the ball in the game to take the sting out of the game when the other team's getting sort of momentum. You have to be able to rely on it. You have to be able to put tactical fouls. You're supposed to pull people together. What are we fucking doing? What are we doing?
The reason I dispel that notion,
Bruno
right?
Fernandes, let me finish. Yeah. Bruno Fernandes can never be subbed. You already know. And Luani, I'm shocked that people defending Casemiro. Casemiro after 60 minutes gassed. He's fucking gassed.
Facts.
Okay. No, then let me kind of dispel that notion. You see, when you have a midfield, it doesn't matter who you have in that midfield. If the opponent is moving the ball faster than you, and he's using the whole pitch, you are going to be chasing shadows. I've seen Baleba chase shadows this year. It doesn't matter. Okay, what I'm trying to bring our attention to is, with this coach, he made us one-dimensional by being right side heavy. Now, in today's game particularly, he broke up that partnership that we have on the right, and now make us another one-dimensional by making us now left side heavy. All I'm asking is just give us some balance. Give us some balance.
Bro, have you seen Pedro Porro this season? Have you literally seen Pedro Porro this season? He's been fucking shite. And yes, obviously, Ahmad probably realistically should have probably been on the left wing back instead of Dorgu. But still,
fine. If you want to attack Pedro Porro, if you want to attack that side, do you need to dismantle one side to attack the other one? Don't go to have been enough to attack Pedro Porro if you want to. The issue also I have is, okay, our striker, Cesco. I don't honestly think he's a United striker. I'm sorry, because he has more than enough chance right now. And as a coach, you have to understand that some decisions that you make affect the psyche of your player. You guys put yourself in the place of Xerxes right now. You know that you are only one of two strikers in this team, and both of you are on the bench to start the game. And the coach decided to put Cunha in as a 9. What is running through your head? You probably thinking, wow, the coach doesn't rate both of us as a striker enough, and decide to play a winger or /10 in the striking position. And this is where I come to the defense of Cunha. I'm not saying Cunha is shit today. As a coach, you have to put your player in a position that highlight their skills. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. If I'm a 9, players all their life develop the position that they play. Okay, if I'm a 9 and they put me on the wing, it's a different story. Now I have to think about the game different. It's almost like a GPS positioning system. Now I'm on the 9. I know where exactly the touchline is. Sorry, I'm on the wing. I'm a winger. I know exactly where the touchline is. If I'm a right footer, I know I have to come on the inside, wrap the ball, or I have to go on the outside, cross the ball. It's all in the head. But now you put me in the middle of the pitch and you're asking me to do things that I haven't done my whole career. Yeah, we can say anything we want that, oh, he's a football player, he should be able to play anywhere on the pitch. No, that's not the way football works. You play the guy out of position, you don't get the best out of him. Now it comes to a point of the game, you take him out. And that's the situation that we have. As a coach, keep the game simple for your players. Play to the best of their ability.
But
No, but
here's the
that's no, but
thing.
Luani, that's the argument we were having yesterday, now, right? And you were telling me that it was better for Amorim to play through the middle, and I was the one arguing that we should play to our strengths. Again, I think the way I saw this game, I don't blame Amorim for the choices, a lot of the choices that he made. I don't think it's too much to ask, right? That you at a tough away ground at Spurs, you try and hold on to your 1-0 victory. If you're playing Mbeumo on the left, Mbeumo, the superstar footballer that he is, he was able to score a goal from that position. He was offering us a lot defensively. He was offering us a lot attacking wise. This idea, like we're having the same conversation we've been having for the last 8 months, right? I understand that a lot of people like to feel very righteous about their indignation, right, towards United, and you have the highest standards that there could ever be about the performance of the club. And if it was up to you, we would sack everyone and probably even relegate the club, to achieve perfection. But we have the club that we have right now. And we have the team that we have right now. And from my perspective, it serves no one, especially for me, somebody like me who has to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to watch my team. It serves no one to have this kind of, should I call it like nihilism or defeatist mentality. When 45 minutes into this game, I thought we had every chance of winning, and I thought we should win. But I'm grateful about the fact that last season we came 15th, and now we look like we're somewhere in around top 8. That's an improvement. I want us to move forward, right? I'm not looking for a final solution. I want the club to build, and it looks like we're doing that, right? We're making mistakes with the manager that we're backing, right? Who has good intentions. He's making mistakes. The players are making mistakes. The ownership, at this time, are making mistakes. But everybody's doing it, in my opinion, with the right intentions, and we're all moving in the right direction. I think the signings that the club has made so far have been good. So when you complain about Casemiro and Bruno in midfield, again, my response to that is no shit, right? Like, yeah, they're not the best midfield pairing out there, but they're the best that we have. I blame Amorim, and I wish Amorim would be braver and more creative with his choices, right? So I think, for example, Xerxes should be playing a lot more. I think Kobe Mane should be playing a lot more than he is currently. But I also accept that, on this journey that we are, since we're not Liverpool, since we're not City, and since I'm not, interested in being the most righteous United fan, I accept that the club is struggling right now, and that we are where we are in terms of the level. I also think that the team is better on paper than Amorim would have us believe, with the 15th position. So I hold him to a high standard, but that standard is not first or second. That standard is to be better than you were last season, because I accept that on the journey to becoming the team that we once were, there have to be mistakes along the way. So for me today, I think it's positive. Like for me, the outlook is positive. I think it means something, right? That we were on top. We were in control from beginning to the end, but we looked solid. We looked defensively solid. Aside from that 5 minutes, window when we basically lost our head, and that's something that the team has to improve on, because the team is improving. We're not the finished product yet. We're not a super consistent team. We have these moments of madness, but we also have, different from last season, we also have far more resolute players than we did before. We have people who take the badge a lot more seriously than the players that we did in the past, and that counts for something. And we're seeing it today, and we saw it in the fact that, despite the fact that we conceded 2 goals in the last 10 minutes, we still had it in us to equalize. The league is tough, right? The league is tough. We're improving. We're within a point from second place. We were a few, a hair's breadth away, basically, from being in that position. So, I mean, I think people who want to be, I think, right in that Amorim is going to fail, or that the only solution, as I always argue with Nuruddin, the only solution is to relegate the club and get the Glazers out. People who want to be maximalist or perfectionist in their ideals, I think, feel free. But from my perspective, it's far more interesting to talk about the club we have in reality than the club that we all wish we had.
Yeah. And
Wait, brother, can I ask you a question? I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry. What's your name?
Sean, yeah, big up, Safi. What's up?
Yeah, what's your name? I'm sorry.
Sean.
Sean?
Yep, Sean.
Oh, okay, so I just you said a few things. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Mhm.
I mean, it sounds like is it easy? Is it good to assume that you're Emmerman? Did I get that right?
As in, did you get it right that I support the current United manager? Sure. Yes, I support our
Yeah. Like, are
manager.
you
I want the
Emmerman? No,
club
no.
to
Like, I'm
win.
not trying to cut you off. I just want to know if you're in or out.
No, I want the team to win games. I support the manager.
No, no. Of course, we all want the team to win, but I just want to know if you're in or out because you said a few things that I felt like I wanted to question you on. Because,
Yeah, I
like,
support the manager and I want the team to win.
no, of course. As I said, we all want the team to win, but we can all want the team to win and not believe in this manager. But you can believe in him. That's fine. You were saying you saw improvements. I just could you explain to me what some of these improvements are? That's all I want to know. Like, because at least I
Sure.
want something to debate you on.
Sure. Yeah. So I think specifically the players are a lot quicker in their recovery to position, right? So when we lose the ball, they get back behind the ball quicker and in a more organized way than we saw last season. I think the players understand what is being asked of them. So the defensive triggers, Luke Shaw and Ligt or Leniero or Maguire, I think they have a better understanding of their triggers when they're supposed to press up, push up basically to provide cover in the midfield. I think Umbremo is a very tactically astute player. There was a pass that he dropped in deep to give to Dorgu today. That looks like something that was clearly, trained. I drop deep, you come on behind me, and I release a through pass to you simply. When Bremo plays on the right, I think the connection between himself and Ahmad, who comes inside, who goes out, is obviously worked on the pitch. Again, the team is not perfect, right? And for me, there's no way around. If you support the team and you want the team to win, I think for me, it's less important than that I'm right about my exact predictions of who is a better manager than, ultimately I want to see the team succeed. What else
No,
do you have?
that's fine. I mean, we don't have to get into debates that in who would be a better manager if we signed this guy, that guy. I don't care about that right now. I just wanted to see if you can highlight some of these things because like I feel like we can easily look at this game and the last two games and just go off that and say, well, this is what hasn't improved in this team, especially since those 3 wins. Because I felt like a lot of people were deluded into believing we developed some style of play in those 3 games that we magically now have figured out just in that period, as if we couldn't have figured out over the
Oh
last
no,
11
no,
months.
no.
You know, yeah.
And
So that's fair. Staffy, that's entirely fair. I think you could credibly say that there are things that are still there from last season. There are these vulnerabilities or weaknesses that are still there from last season. I think that's fair. But I think that's half the story, right? That's not all that there is to talk about with this team. And I think that's reflected in the data, the stats, in the points that we have right now, in our position on the table, like just by virtue of the mere facts, we're better than we were last season. I think you could say also credibly that that's still not good enough for you, and I think that would be a valid point to make. I just think that's not a useful position to have 11 or 12 games into the season.
so for me personally, and this is my opinion, I feel like a lot of the improvements, I'd say the majority of it, I'm putting it down to individuals. So I think the fact that some of our signings bring more quality than some of the players that we sold, I don't think that's down to anything tactical or coaching, whatever. Just some of the individuals are better. Now you might ask me, okay, but what's the proof to some of that? I'll tell you what. Last season, there was games that we went in, and I'm like, well, I feel like the manager coach should win today, and we didn't because probably Rasmus should have finished his stance. Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho, the list goes on. You look at today's game. I don't know if you guys noticed. We've had 2 shots on target. Both of them resulted to goals. That's 100% conversion rate. Now, let's just be very honest. No one ever goes into a football game and converts 100% of the chances. We just got lucky today that the 2 shots on targets we had, we scored both of them. One of them is our center back Ligt in the last minute of the game, which means that if you just remove this one, this goal right now, for argument's sake, you're going to see that the attackers that I named earlier, we pretty much had almost every attacker on the pitch today except for Xerxes. So Cesco, Mbumo, Cunha, Mount, and Bruno all were on the pitch today. And those 5 collectively have registered the 1 shot on target collectively.
Yeah.
And that was the Mbumo goal. When I see that level of quality on the pitch, and I'm seeing that we're struggling to get shots up, it has to be tactical. It has to be coaching, and it has to be management. Now, you can relate it to so many things. You guys spoke about the midfield, and I highly agree with you guys. But when you guys say Casemiro and Bruno's not going to work, guess what? It's the only midfield, probably the best midfield we can play because we choose to play midfield too. We choose to be a system that is outnumbered in the midfield. This is who we're always going to be. So if you have an issue with that midfield, it means you should have an issue with the system, which means you should have an issue with the manager because he employs him in that way.
The difference is, so we've always played a midfield 2 post Fergie. We've never played a 3-man midfield. Probably the first 10 games of
you
all
had
these,
a 10. So
no. See, in my opinion, a 10, especially with Bruno Fernandes' team, that's no midfielder in my opinion. The 10 basically has to, see. I want what Newcastle want and what Arsenal do. Just basically have a flat 3 in the midfield. None of them just go away from each other. All of them just all stay compact together. And that's why I love Eddie Howe as a coach. And I think obviously Eddie Howe would be the suitable person to obviously take over Man United. See, with this system though, like I would love to, I know it's shit right now, but I just would love to see, like, say for example, like a Wharton, like an Anderson. I just want to see like 2 midfielders in where Bruno and Cass are, and then I can then justify, right, okay, this system is just absolutely shit, right? So I think so, but sorry, go on.
Let me just ask you something. I know, before you continue, because I want to adjust your points. So I get you when you say Wharton and all that. Yeah, sure. Maybe there's better quality there. Then you can argue in moments they'll be better. But it brings me back to when people diagnose the symptoms rather than the cause. I don't think, as an example, Casemiro is the most press-resistant midfielder in the world. You pass him the ball under pressure, and he's going to panic. He's most likely going to pass it back. Bruno, same thing, which is why he looks for the Hollywood pass a lot. Now, you can say maybe a different midfielder would have a different approach. He receives the ball in that situation. We've seen it as an example with Manu. Manu is going to take a drop at the shoulder, try a little 1-2, and get himself out of trouble. He progresses the ball differently. All that is irrelevant, though, when the approach is to always neglect the midfield. I think people need to understand that we are a team that doesn't care for midfields, especially under Emery. I don't mean just in general, like as a club. In this era under Emery, we don't care for the midfield.
There's a video on this channel where I explained it and broke it down when Manchester United were linked with Amorim, and I said he's another guy who vacates the midfield. So
he doesn't care for
the actual video. Yeah, I put it on here. And people were arguing me, saying, no, but that's Portugal. I'm sure when it comes to the Premier League, and like, he doesn't know the Premier League. Yeah. We know, as fans, we know more about the Premier League physicality, and we know about the Premier League, the kind of the second. No. We know all that more than any coaches coming from Sporting Lisbon or whatever, but carry on stuff.
No, it's not a coincidence, Nordin. When you look at our 2 best wins in the recent run that we had, where were they? They were Anfield away, and they were Brighton at home. When you look at those 2 wins, what was the best thing we did in those games? Against Liverpool, we won 50-50s. Against Brighton, we pressed high at the pitch. Not a single one of those wins were down to a repeated pattern of play when it came to build up from your back line all the way to your front. Which is why when my brother here is saying about Wharton and all that, I hear you in terms of
Wharton
individual
can never fit in the system, by the way. Amorim to stop playing.
I just love to see it try.
The way that Crystal Palace played the 3-4, 3-2-1, whatever, it's totally different. Glasner's interpretation of that system is totally different.
Look how much Wharton is on the ball for Palace.
They play through Wharton and Hughes
100%.
And that Kameda, that chap.
But we play for Bruno
all of the time.
No, we don't.
In a different way, Ben. In a totally different way. Wharton is a different type of midfielder to Bruno. He is nowhere in the same sphere or universe. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, like I said, maybe the system's shit. Maybe obviously I'm not Ruben Amorim in or out. I'm just doubt. Personally, I would actually like him to stay because I know where my football club is. And people had the audacity to rate this window at 8 to 10 out. 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 window. And honestly, hang your heads up to shame, bro, because that was probably the biggest waffle I've ever heard in my life, man. I knew this was coming. I fucking knew it. Shame on every single one of them bastards that are a part of the board. Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, all these fucking kids. And look, for me right now, where I stand with Ruben Amorim, I know the system's not working. I know that, but I don't want any of us gaslighting me as a fan and say, right, okay, we'll get rid of him. We'll then bring another person in. it's all it's all okay, people. We're gonna get our recruitment right eventually. No, the thing is that people get gassed about this fucking recruitment is, yes, Euro on paper is good. Yes, Ligt on paper is good. Not Ugarte, fucking Xerxes. Who else did we buy last season? Dorgu. All these players, yeah, it might be good fucking recruitment, but they took us to 15th and they took us to 8th. That's all I need to say to you people. Yes, it's still good recruitment, but the what's the word? The end result, it didn't work out at the end, because we finished 2 of the worst Man United positions in history. So like I said, all my eyes right now are on these fucking vultures, man. And the fact that I keep constantly seeing every fucking YouTube channel out there, and there's just no one that mentions too much about this fucking Ineos bullshit. It just drives me fucking nuts, man, because it's all about this Amram miss. Do you believe in Amram's tactics? Do you believe in Amram's system? Does Bruno need to be dropped? Does Man Utd to be come in? Like, I couldn't give a fucking toss, man. It's been 20 years since the Glazers took over this club. Ineos came in, failure after failure after failure after failure. Ashworth wanted to get rid of Bruno. Ashworth didn't want to play a 3 at the back system. People used to believe that Ashworth was the one that kept Bruno. No, we see this now. Icing's in the pudding. It was Wilcox the entire time, and it was Vivel that wanted to keep Bruno Fernandes. It was not Dan Ashworth. So listen, people. I just think we're all this Amram talk. Honestly, it just makes me fucking laugh. Yes, no, but let me finish. Let me finish. This all Amram talk. Every time I hear, like, what do you see in Amram? What do you see in this? I couldn't give a fucking toss, man. Like, how about we just talk about Ineos, man? Like, how do we get to the fucking?
Yeah, but you're ignoring the games because you just want to hang. Because I know where. But I get you though.
That's like 20 years though. Stuff.
But Ineos are not perfect. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But let's not pretend that all 20 clubs in the Premier League have perfect owners with perfect recruitment, with perfect everything. No one has it all perfect. But like, no disrespect, bro. When I look at the table and I see Sunderland are sitting above us still in the table.
100%.
And by the way, I give so much respect to Sunderland and Bournemouth.
How much did they spend? How many players did they bring in the summer?
To be fair, they did bring a lot.
They bring a lot of
Most
players.
Of them are players that are going to AFCON, so we'll see what happens. But
when they get injuries, it's going to be different time. Because we'll see.
No, of course.
I just want to say one thing quickly. Amarim did say he needed more legs in midfield.
Yes, he did.
Sweden, when we played that friendly in Sweden against Lisa, we got bopped. He said, "I need more physicality and legs in midfield." And then he said it again during the preseason in the US.
Bullshit.
I don't know if you went.
No, he's waffling. He's
waffling. Sorry, the West Ham game was there.
Yeah, you went to the West Ham game. So the point of what I want to make is that at the end of the day, people were like, "This is 7 out of 10." I understand stuff is where you're coming from, but carry on. I want to bring Bombay back in as well, and Shaw and Luani in as well to some of the debate. Go ahead.
Let me just comment on Staffy's thing. Like, yeah, obviously, none of the Premier League clubs have perfect owners. But I got to ask you a question, Staffy. Do any of the Premier League owners keep them for 20 years?
Sorry, say that again.
So you said not all the Premier League teams have perfect owners, which I agree. Like, some of them can be debatable. Obviously, we've seen the Newcastle fallout and all that sort of stuff. But can I ask you, I've lost my fucking track.
No, you
basically what I'm asking. Yes. Have any of them kept? Like, yeah, obviously they're not perfect owners, but have they kept? Like, no club in this Premier League has kept owners for 20 fucking years. And yes, constant failure. We can't forget about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Constant failure after failure after failure. I don't see progression in Ineos. I see just constant regression. We're actually regressing at this point under Ineos. People are actually saying that online that Ineos are actually worse than Glazers. And you know what? I probably have to agree with them, because what have they done? And people keep saying about the stadium, the Carrington bollocks PR, and the fact that Wilcox is doing fucking interviews and how, like, who handles recruitment and stuff. Does any of our club do that in the world? No. No club does that in the world. Does PSG? No, none of them. And the fact that go on, Carl.
I hear you, and I don't think you're wrong, but I feel like when people deflect onto these ownership arguments, it takes you up to a little bit of a higher scale argument. So it's like, if I'm talking about why did United not win the league since 2013, then fine, I'll start having this conversation. I don't think it takes much for me to see a manager, or I should call him a head coach because he's not even a manager at this point, a head coach with decent players, put in a decent plan, and go and play decent football game in, game out. I by no means am demanding a league from this manager. I by no means am demanding anything crazy. But the fact is that I see by the way, it's going to be his 1-year anniversary in 3 days. So for 12 months, I'm seeing a lack of progression when it comes to simple, basic elements of the game, such as build-up, such as possession, such as just how you use your midfield. These are simple things that any footballing guy, hey, we should all know it, let alone a football manager. So when I see him being unable to implement these things in football games, when, by the way, we spent a lot of money on the squad in the summer, I don't think we had a perfect summer, I agree with you, but we have a good enough squad to see better style of football that I'm seeing. I'm just seeing implement, in my opinion, amateurish type of tactics. I feel like a lot of managers with a lot more experience would never come to the Premier League and say, let me vacate the midfield for a whole year and wonder why we struggle to go on winning runs or undefeated runs. People are giving him, by the way, make-a-wish type of treatment because he went 5 games undefeated for the first time in a whole year, and people are treating it like it's something amazing. It's like, wow, guys, let's all clap for him. You know, when you got participation trophies as a kid and you lost the race, but they're like, oh, let's just clap for him anyways and make him feel good about himself. This is what it feels. But this is not the level for me to give you that treatment. You came in into a very tough job, and you're lacking the base.
Can I ask a question? Staffy, let me ask a question, because what you said could be totally right to say, not talking about the ownership in terms of what, but okay. How much can we say the coach?
Yes.
Before we look at the people who bought him here and the people who are
that's fine. Here. I agree with you. Me and you have always agreed on that point. When I was on Saeed's channel, I used to say that. I used to see, I blame the managers more than the owners more than him, because they brought him in knowing he's going to do that. And by the way, I always die on this. I think if there was any chance of him to be even half as good, I think all these chances were killed last season, because they brought him in and they made him sink so bad that even if he was actually a decent manager, I think he has lost so much trust into himself that this season fucked him up no matter what. Nordin, I don't care what anything happens. If someone beats you every day, someone beats you, at some point, you're going to feel like you're the weakest man in the world, because every day you get beat by this person. This is what happened to Emery last season. He sunk so bad that no matter what, they set him up for failure, by the way, because number one, people were coming into the summer not wanting to give him a chance. I wasn't even one of them. I wanted to give him a chance, but even I converted. And other than that, you can't lose that amount of games. He was coming out, by the way, after games saying we're the worst squad, we're the worst Manchester United, I'm the worst manager, they're the worst players. No wonder why people like Ligt today are coming out and saying last season we lost, today we drew. It means we progressed. Because they saw this minimal improvement on how bad we are, and they're like, this must be good. A point is better than 0. No, not at all.
Talking about XG.
When you talk about, you know, any...
One second,
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
And then we'll come around. Go ahead, Bombay.
Nordi, can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Trebles. Quickly.
Before he goes, just one thing, and Bombay goes. That person who just commented that, on the comment saying Glazers own the majority share, or who's been calling the most shots? Ineos. Get that right. Thank you very much. Continue.
Go ahead, Bombay.
Big up, man.
Bombay,
Darth Vader there.
Darth Vader, you there? Mr. Heavy Breather, are you there?
No. I'm there, man. I'm there. It's good. This good debate, guys. Some good points. I mean, the question is, you can look at it different ways, and everyone's going to have a different take. Is the manager performed to a satisfaction? No. But is the manager going to go? No. So, like the Ineos argument, this is out of my hands. My job is to observe the games, objectively assess them, and see what's happening. I want something to get behind. I want to have some faith in the manager. Either he gives me results. If he gives me that, he buys time to keep working. Today wasn't a great performance, but if we It's okay. It's part of the journey. 3 more points. Let's keep going. Now we have faith, and the hope is that we improve going forward. This is how I am digesting Manchester United right now. Question is, have we improved since last year? Well, personally, I feel an improvement because I watch United with more clarity than I did last year. Last year, I didn't even know what we were trying to do. I didn't ever see us in games get into the final third. There was no penetration. I mean, today's statistics in terms of us being in the final third is less than them. Okay, fine. But you look at those last year, I'd love to compare them. Last season, our striker was basically playing as a 10. The width was not coming from the fullbacks. And the guys that are supposed to be 10 were wide. There was nobody to play with. Defense was shocking. So for me, the defense is better in the sense that individual players have improved.
We can't
The
defend
Ligt-
as a team, though.
Can I
point?
tell you, by the way?
Individually. You defend as a fucking team, as a unit.
Guys, we're not perfect. He's saying we're improving. I mean,
Wait. But can I say, because you're saying the defense improved, I just want to let you know that there's only 3 teams that conceded more goals than us.
I know that's true. That's true. Defensively, for me, we've held up in games this season where we all did last year. We're still conceding. Has Ligt improved? I think he's improved exponentially. He's starting to look like value for money for me. Is Luke Shaw playing good? I think so.
Big up Jarvis. Big up.
I think so. I think so. Is Casemiro better than he was last year? I think so. I think in the previous games, what I saw, Amorim did tweak things. That midfield becomes a 3 when one of the 10s is dropping in. We saw that with Cunha a lot in the last game against Liverpool. I think it was against Liverpool. And in the last game, what was the last game? Forest? No, Liverpool game, sorry. He is trying to tweak things. The 10s are narrower to play with each other. Look at the goals that we've scored recently. We've got like 3 and 4 guys in the box constantly and balls are coming in. Last season, you had none of that. There was no guys in the box. Balls are getting flashed in to who? To nobody. You're making no chances. You're not even creating opportunities to make chances last season. It was the most horrendous. Go back and watch.
I know. Finish in 50 years. The team that got relegated had more points. Do you know that?
Sure.
Because
of course.
Today is also Saturday.
Of course.
Today is also Saturday.
Let's
say interesting things.
But what I'm saying,
we're talking about the collapse. We're talking about stuff they put it as they coach. I don't actually blame Amorim because Amorim is an experienced guy from a 7th, 8th ranked league in Europe. Come over here, has a specific type of system that that does not know any clue about the Premier League. Comes here and the club and him agree. He came out on his own words last season, people, and said the club to me start.
Well, listen, I'm giving you,
and then he hoodwinked us all into the Europa League. Why are you moaning about? I'm telling you the facts. The fact where he kept saying we're making a choice about the Europa League.
I'm trying to get him to agree with you, like to say exactly what
he said. By the way, last season he said that we're not yet.
Agree with me.
Bro, what am I? What is? Are you asking me a question? Are you asking me to give you my take on what I've been listening to?
No, I'm telling you some of the things you're saying. What I'm saying to you is that Ruben Amorim in 12 months has done fuck all.
Okay, we know that.
Okay,
we know that.
So
you're saying
who brought him here, to me, the idea of being obsessed with him, I don't like because we should be obsessed with the people who bought him here. If you own a fucking shop, Bombay, and your manager,
do you know the problem
and your staff are misbehaving, and the people keep coming in,
do you know the problem is?
Is it the manager or your staff, or is it
you?
Do
you know the problem
what we're doing here?
I'll tell you what we're doing here. The same thing we do every week. I get asked a question, I try to formulate an answer, and then you come in like a fucking train and destroy everything. This is this. I mean, what's the point? Should I just mute and just listen? Get it, man. Get a pen and paper, man. Write down what you want to challenge me on. I've been listening for half an hour, and I'm trying to answer the questions of and the observances of everybody. Everybody's perspective is different. For me today, man, it's a point. You know my take. I'm consistent in that the mentality of the team has to change.
How does that change?
That changes by not losing games.
No, that changes by getting rid of the fucking captain.
No,
The captain,
bro.
the captain dictates the mentality of this team.
Everybody with their one shot magic solution.
I'm sorry, man. If this was any
but-
other captain, the mentality wouldn't be this down bad, Bombay. And you know that. Come on, man. Come on.
No, bro. He's my
a shit
captain.
He's a shit captain.
Bro,
Even
he's
Roy
my
Keane
captain.
said it.
He's my
been
captain.
Every game we concede, man. I don't see any leadership.
Let him finish, Ben. Let him finish.
I just don't see any leadership. I just don't see any leadership.
We'll go to Luani, then go back to Sean.
Bro, look, all you're gonna get, what's gonna happen here really is, you can look at it as the standards were so low last season that it's like a sword that cuts both ways. Of course, we are starved. Sure, that was how bad it was. So you can say the improvement is still not enough because it was so bad. All right, fine. You want to look at it that way. You can say that where we are is still a million miles away from it. You can look at today and say this is unacceptable. Man, to me, I've succumbed to the fact that Ruben Amorim will be the manager for the rest of this season. I'm looking to see how we are going to improve. We've made some improvements, but we need to keep going. Last 2 weeks, we've capitulated in the second half. This is a mentality issue. This is a culture of Manchester United issue.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah, and it's a team game. Today, I'm not really looking at any individual to pick out whatever. It's a team game. You have to earn the right to play your stuff, and winning the second balls is very important. If you don't come out second half fast and you're up for it, then you're gonna get eaten, man. Because without the ball, you're just gonna get pushed back and back.
Yeah, but what is the manager doing to help the midfield with that? Because I just feel like people just like to ignore it.
Yeah.
What does the manager do to help with that? Because I'll be honest with you, if you think you're gonna bully 19 other teams and win the second balls every game, I'm sorry, we don't have the Incredible Hulk playing in our midfield. We have a 34-year-old Casemiro. And you have Bruno, who's barely finding it together to have any type of
combination. 64 years midfield.
Exactly.
I would like to go.
I've never seen a manager so reliant.
Let me ask you this. What would you have done in terms of substitutions today? Or is it the actual two-man midfield that you think is the problem?
Well,
because
I wouldn't play the two-man midfield that he plays.
In recent weeks,
I'd play a 10. I wouldn't play.
Have you noticed
one
of the 10s is dropping in to make it a 3, and it's been reasonably successful?
Who dropped today in the 10? Sorry, in the midfield.
Today was today. Today was today.
So we haven't ever again except for today.
Today we were shy. Luani, go ahead. Luani, I think that he's done now. Bombay is done. Go ahead, Luani.
Okay. The first thing I want to say is about the league itself. What Staffy said about the Stockholm syndrome kind of stuck to me. Okay. With the Stockholm syndrome thing. What were the standard of Sunderland when they got promoted? I don't care about how much money they spend, because if that's what you want to bring up, how is Liverpool doing with how much money they spend? Sunderland just draw against the league leaders today, and they're doing it. All their game I've watched, they play consistently well. You cannot look at any name on that team sheet and tell me that they're world beaters. That's just coaching. Let's keep things simple. The league I've been told this league is shit. To my definition, a shit league is when 2 or 3 teams walk over everybody else, and then when the bottom team are getting beat up like piñatas. That's not the case. In this year, everybody can beat everybody. As far as I'm concerned, when you're in a league like that, where anybody can beat anybody, it's called competitive. And when the league is competitive, yes, it's bad news for the household name that we know, the big hitters, but it's also bad news for us because we're not consistent enough to prove that we can beat anybody at any time. We go game by game, that's fine. But we can, the same way we can find ourselves in a top 6, top 8, we can find ourselves in the bottom 3 come end of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to the system, Staffy talk about how this system itself is an issue. I agree with that, right? To a certain extent. Honestly, I don't believe in the concept of midfield 2. I never believe in that. For me, when you defending is structural. It's either 4-4-2, whatever, 5, whatever you want to defend. When you're building up and you have you playing with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, you always drop your wingers into the midfield and you have a midfield quartet. So the problem that I have with Amorim is not his system per se, even though I agree this system have a limitation, because I've seen Alonso played, I've seen Inzaghi, and then in our own Premier League, Glasner played. The problem I have is his interpretation of the system and the way he deploys it, that make it worse. And then the questionable choice of his positional players and the people he's loyal to execute this system, I don't think they suit that. If you take a profile player like Bruno, for example, you play him in a double pivot. Now, if you look at Glasner and Crystal Palace, can you compare Bruno Fernandes in profile to Phil Hughes or Adam Wharton? No. But still, when Glasner played his system, I watched when Eze was there. He still bring either Eze or when Eze was there. Now it's Kamada. He still bring Eze and Sa into the midfield to make that quartet. And then he keep his outlet, Muniz and Tariq Michel, all the way at the halfway line. So it's a different way of playing the system. When I see Inzaghi playing the system, you see his center backs are out there marauding, making a 10-man run. So this guy, let's just admit, he's a pragmatic coach. Just like the school of Jose Mourinho, just like the school of the Portuguese school. He's pragmatic. He doesn't believe.
I wouldn't put him in the same level as Jose at all, because I'll tell you what, Jose, at least when Jose used to defend in games, which wasn't all the time, he would defend in big games, he used to always leave attacking outlets. I don't think people are deeping that we played a defensive team today in Tottenham, and our two wingers were Dorgu and Mazraoui.
No, what I'm trying to
we
say,
put defenders to attack, and people wonder why we have no quality going up front.
What I'm trying to say is that he does not believe in control of the midfield. So the issue I have is today I watched two other teams that are supposed to be at the bottom of the league. Burnley and West Ham play. And as I was watching the game, I can see clear pattern of play. I can see these players with just playing out the back easy. A well-coached team. So I'm asking myself, if this team that are supposed to be at the bottom of the league are playing this way, and the one that are supposed to be the household name, Tottenham and United, offer me this shit of a game, what are we? Are we living in an alternate universe? I'm not trying to make any excuse for the coach, but I just don't like what I see. I rather see performance, and that's where I am at this point.
Okay, sure. Last word, man. Last word. We're going around. Last word. Of course, you're always the company man, as we well know. You're always the company man. You're always gonna be glass full. Well, I look at it the other way. I don't know. Maybe I've been spoiled by Fergie, but to me, the ownership is a huge part. You can ignore it all you want. Everything we see on the football pitch, everything we see on the dugout, always leads to the boardroom and to the owners. But for me, I just look at this and I think Amorim. I'm just like, what is Amorim doing? Like, what is Amorim doing in the way that he's setting up? But then I'm like, how can I be so hard on him? He's 40 years old. He is a young coach. He is somebody who doesn't really try to understand like English football. He's still getting there. His assistant is 30 years old. Where is all the experience you need on knowing about this league, knowing about the physicality, nobody to fill the gaps there? Like, what is going on? Because for me, a number two is as important. Certain people, they're not training ground coaches, but their number twos are. Their number twos are crowned. The team that you build as a coach, as a first team coach of anywhere, it is a team that fills the gaps that which you're short at, and then you can get their expertise from them. Now, when I see this 30-year-old number twos, never flipping coached in the Premier League, doesn't have a clue, And then then it makes sense to me to see the way we play week in, week out. So for me, having a go at Amorim, I always feel like sometimes I have to call him out for the bullshit, Sean. I have to call him out because what I see with my own eyes. I have to call him out because I am not going to be insulted. My intelligence is not going to be insulted to see what I'm seeing on the football pitch.
So
how much can we go back to that?
Who are learning on the job?
I'm not gonna say too much, right? Because we've been done for a long time. Big up Jarvis, so that people can get a chance to talk. I'll just say that there are a couple of things that can be true all at the same time, right? So it's true that the Glazers and Ineos are not the best ownership out there, and they could be wiser or smarter in the summer window. That's true. It's also true that the team is better than 15th place, and it was a big failure by Amorim last season because the team on paper is better than the results that we saw. That's true. It's also true that the players lack integrity generally, and the players don't have character. And we've been struggling basically to have solid men on our team. That's also true. But I think it's also true that for a United manager to be successful, they will have to first fail. And they would have to fail on their own terms and be given a chance basically to shape the United team in their own image. I don't think United personally, I don't think we're going to get the silver bullet solution that anybody has in mind. Whether it's a specific manager out there or a specific decision that they will make, like getting rid of Bruno or whatever. I think this team has to grow together, basically from scratch. The open heart surgery that we all talked about, basically with what's his face, Ralph Ragnick. I don't know what people thought that was going to entail, but I think these are all things that I think are true at the same time. That's my perspective. I wish we had won today. But I'm going to continue to support the team, and basically hope for the best. Here you guys.
Big up. Jarvis, listen, my next door neighbor's knocking. I need to go and check out. I hope they're all right. But yeah, Jarvis,
yeah. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah.
Big up, never gonna give you up.
Yeah, big up, guys. Big up, guys. I just listened in. I'm sitting here actually enjoying a glass of red and just, trying to analyze the game. I was watching the heat maps. I was watching the stats. I was watching the passing stats, and I realized Ahmad had a terrible game. In Dorgu, he's done a lot of good things and he's done a lot of bad things. So just this. It's a tough game actually to analyze and point fingers at anyone and what's really went wrong. But I had an interesting conversation earlier today with Samik's football. I don't know if you remember him, guys, but he talked about us trying to play it compact. We stopped playing on the width. We didn't play out wide any time. So we played really compact, and because of that, we played into Spurs' hands. To a really compact line with Van de Ven and Romero, the centre backs, Palhinha, Sar. So we're just basically banging our head into the wall because we played against strong guys. And I'm not quite sure why this happened. If it was Amorim's game plan or just a thing that happened. I don't know if any of you guys saw it and have an opinion when it comes to this.
So what?
Us like playing really narrow every time, going centrally and pushing up to Palhinha, Sar, Van de Ven instead of going narrow, wide.
But we kick the ball long every time, which is just a common theme. So the ball always ends up in those areas. It's just an archaic nature of playing football. But there was no build up, if that's what the answer you're looking for. There was absolutely zero build up.
No, I agree with Jarvis. I think that was the game plan because that's why he moved Cunha to the striking position and break up the partnership between Ahmad and Bomo, because with those front three, those are the three players that we have in our team that can keep possession of the ball. So when he break them up and then move them, you will see they were not running on the shoulder. So he moved them behind the Tottenham line. I think the idea behind it was not for Tottenham not to play through the middle. It was more of the idea that when we get the ball, we don't go long and we can build up from the back and then build up through the middle with those players, right? With Cunha and Bomo dropping a little bit lower to collect the ball. But we couldn't do that because eventually we have to go long. Unfortunately, because Bruno and Casemiro could not have that half turn and face the other goal and then progress the ball. That's where the plan start backfiring. But that was the plan all along. We sacrificed the width. We didn't have any width today at all. The only time we have that width is when Dogu was released to go marauding, and that's the issue that I have, because Amorim need to have both dimensions to the game. Regardless, you only have width. If you have width, you can then play through the middle, because then you can decompress the whole the opposition as well. But then if you compress the middle and you don't have any width, you just literally telling them, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, and they can just, we will bang our head against the wall, like you say.
Yeah, but where I'm coming from with this is because of Dorgu and Mazraoui playing at the wing backs. We didn't have the usual outlet with offensive players, being able to create anything with the ball. I think Dorgu's pass percentage was 55% during his time. I think he played 80 minutes. So giving him the ball as the outlet is like rolling the dice. You either lose the ball or you do something with it. But him especially, I think he had not the best game, and same with Mazraoui, and when you are a player, at a high level, and players like Mbeumo, Cunha, and Bruno, they don't particularly trust them, and if you have the chance, if you can choose by playing to Mbeumo, or you want to play to Dorgu, obviously you choose to give the ball to Mbeumo, not Dorgu. So maybe this is why we always like trying to force it narrow. I felt, at least how I saw the game, that we did it, but I need to see the game a second time to know for sure.
I watched it actually 2 times. That's how I was saying yesterday, that if we play Drogu, it have to be instructional. The manager have to make the game simpler for him. Just run into space, cross the ball. That's why I didn't want to have Cunha up there. I'd rather have Cesco instead, right? But on the other side, I didn't favor breaking up the partnership between Mbeumo and Ahmad for Mazraoui, regardless of what form Mazraoui in, because Mazraoui didn't give us an outlet today. So you can clearly see that both of our wing back have been instructed to stay and form a back five, sorry. And that's where I'm looking at Amorim and saying, you know what? We could have done better. We didn't need to give Tottenham that much respect. They are not that good.
I actually thought, I was actually kind of surprised, Jarvis, that you didn't think Dorgu had a good game. I thought Dorgu was one of my man of the matches today, along with Bruno, which is a big surprise in the chat. Yeah, I thought Dorgu was actually really good today. I thought it was probably one of his better games in the United shirt. I think with this long ball and hoofball bollocks that's going on, I think it needs to stop to a certain extent. I think there was one stage where we actually did play it from the back relatively well, but a certain person was actually arguing the players. I don't know whether anyone in the chat or the panel seen it. There was a certain player that was arguing at the players that to go long, and it was actually Bruno Fernandes. And which I know, and but it just like even if it's risky, like even if you have like two of the worst like all playing midfielders in Bruno and Casemiro on the half turn, like at least give it a go. That's what we want to see. We want to see risky football in a way in the midfield, and it can actually work. And we actually did see it. I only seen it once now in the whole game. The rest of it, we just hoofed it up in the air and obviously win our second balls. But I just want to see more of it, man, because I thought Mazraoui was actually probably the key of playing out from the back, because he's so good with the ball on his feet, and he actually drifted into midfield at times and actually helped out Bruno and Cass when we're playing out from the back. But I just want to see more of it, man. Like, keep the ball more. Like, play the simple pass. If no one's free, just go again. Just go. Like, see, everyone gets a wee bit pissed off that Man United play back all the way back to the centre backs again. No, sometimes it's a good thing as long as you're keeping the ball and setting the tempo and dictating the play. That's what we need. That's what we need to see more, instead of just Bruno just telling Lamons to kick it up long and just hopefully 50-50 chance of winning the ball. And obviously
that's the instruction from the manager, though, which is why
it's Bruno as well, though. It is Bruno as well. It's the captain too. I've seen it too many times, man.
I'm pretty sure if Lamons wanted to go short because he wanted to, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
But we really don't, though. Like,
what I want to
Because
invite
he
us to, and
really
next time we playing, keep an eye on Bruno and Casemiro because both of them are playing a double pivot. Look at the way both of them receive the ball in the half turn. You see, Casemiro, he knows that he doesn't have a half turn on him. So when he received the ball back to the other goal, he does a one touch.
He passes it back.
He doesn't. He passes it back. He doesn't try to carry it. Bruno actually tried to hug the ball a little bit more. Contrary to Casemiro, he scanned both sides and then release it quick. The only time I see Casemiro carrying the ball forward is when he is able to scan, turn quickly, and then release quickly. I mean, for somebody that is not like that's a midfield, like a breaker midfield that breaks play. He's pretty good in progressing the ball. Bruno has a ball today that came to him. He asked for the ball. I think Ligt passed it to him, and he was back to the other goal. And then he take one touch, second touch, and then try to pass the ball to Ahmad, which is a hospital pass. The ball won out for a throw-in. And then he start, berating Ahmad, like, yo, what's going on with you? You're supposed to be here. Bro, you give him the wrong pass. That's one thing we, this guy.
You know what it is? You know, like, honestly, like, for me as a United fan, I've seen, like, this for, like, over 10 years, man. And, like, the fact that people will say we need like a manager who plays four at the back and 3-man midfield. I've seen technically like a 3-man midfield in 10 games, and I was with under Ollie's first regime. And like I said, people will say we did play midfield 3 because the person the advanced player is more of 10. In my opinion, you can't simply win any big major trophies with a number 10 in any football system, because why? The person who's in the number 10 spot, they don't do their job off the ball, and we've seen that so many times. We've seen it with the likes of Mason Mount when he was tried in the midfield with Ten Hag. We've seen it with Bruno. We've even seen it with Eriksen at times. We actually played Eriksen in the 10 at times, and it just doesn't work, man. The only way it works, and this is why it's so crucial we get rid of Bruno and get rid of Mount, because they're 10s. They don't actually operate as an 8 or a 6. This is why people obviously get on to me about Ugarte. Ugarte is actually a balanced midfielder. Yes, he's shit, but he's still balanced because he can do both jobs right, and he actually, positionally sense, he's actually rock solid. This is why I do believe, if we go and get a manager like Areola who plays a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, it's going to be the exact same people. We're going to get absolutely just bop around for the midfield, and we're just going to go back to chaos football again. And Nurden even said it as well. It's basketballification of football, just end-to-end football. The only way we're ever going to get out of this puzzle is we have a flat line midfield, just like we had with Matic, Pogba, and Herrera for those 10 games. Just players that similar to those profiles, and then we take it from there. Because we do have players that can do that, like Casemiro, Mainu. Probably Ugarte are probably our best midfield 3, but realistically, Casemiro's lost his legs. Ugarte's shit. Mainu's just not played because Amram doesn't rate him, but he can play in the midfield 3. That's the only way Man United can actually progress and move on. But at the same time, I don't want, with Amram, yes, obviously the system is shit. At the moment, it's not working out to his best interests. But at the same time, I know where my club's at. And right now, Ruben Amorim's the least of my concerns right now. I don't really care if he's sacked or not. And I hope he stays in terms of, fighting it through and hopefully finishing maybe top 6, top 8. I think this squad is capable of getting top 6, top 8. But the fact that people say top 5, top 4, now I know you're waffling, but that's just my opinion.
Cesco is not a United striker, guys. I'm sorry. You see that first touch? You're supposed to take him across Van der Ven. He messed up that first touch. I'll give a chance for Van der Ven to do a recovery tackle. He doesn't have the instinct of he makes some run, but when he's in the box, sometimes I see him lashing at shots. He doesn't have the instinct of.
I think you're weak.
No, I'll be honest.
He has the instincts, but he's still at Bundesliga level. He thinks he have time for an extra touch, and this is one of Cesco's biggest mistakes. He hasn't adapted to the Premier League yet. You see him a lot of times. He could have taken the shot first touch, but he uses an extra touch, and then Van der Ven or Romero, whoever, boom, you're done. And he needs time to adapt. And this is what we do with Man United all the time. We bring in a young striker with no backup, and he's left on his own. How is he supposed to learn the game? And now the fan base, as you say now, Luani, he's not good enough. We're starting to put pressure on him, and it's unnecessary. And this is what we do as a club. We should go in January, bring in a seasonal pro, a good striker, like for example Welbeck, get him in, pay a little bit of money to help Cesco over the line and getting going. Or
how
someone
about
else.
Callum Wilson? Callum
We
Wilson is an excellent.
we are about
striker.
to create a new Højlund. That this is what we are doing.
I actually really like Cesco, man. Like, I don't know why. I think you're a wee bit too harsh, Luani. Yes, I said it as well. I think the chance he had towards the end, he could have easily used his left foot instead of his right foot. I think if he used his left foot, it actually would have went instead of, like, obviously it was a lovely tackle from Van de Ven. But I actually do like some of his, like, his his stat, like how he actually moves around in the pitch. Cesco, like, he likes to do that Xerxes role, drop into the midfield at times, and actually help out and progress the ball throughout the pitch. But I just don't think we played to his strengths at the moment. Like, as I said to you before from the beginning, Ahmad's biggest criticism this season has been his greediness, and same as Cunha. Sometimes we need to mix it up and play. Obviously we just scored a goal today with Mbumo headering the ball. We never do that for Cesco. And I think that needs to be implemented.
Let me tell you something, right? The greediness that you talk about is a real thing. I agree with that. But you see, you as a striker, you have to earn the trust of the people who are playing on your wings, right? Last game, I see a sequence in which Luke Shaw passed the ball to Cunha. He did a 1-2 with Luke Shaw, right? The ball goes back into Cesco while Cunha was making a run. Cesco, with one touch, Cesco could have laid down to Cunha, and he miscontrolled the ball. At that point, you see the body language of Cunha. He was so frustrated. And I said to myself, with the level of ball hugging that Cunha does, right, whether it's justified or not, there's no way he's passing back the ball to Cesco in the box in those circumstances. And he won't be the only person. When you're a striker playing for an elite club, whether you're young or not, you need to have some instinct. You earn your weight in gold by being economical with your touches and by converting your opportunities. So your teammate could trust you and give more of you the ball, give more the ball to you. You look at Haaland at City. I'm not comparing both, but every time City midfielders have the ball, they are looking for him, whether he's there or not, just automatically, because they know their conversion rate, it will be higher when the ball gets to Haaland. He will score, and you have to earn that.
Do you see the level of creation a City does as an example versus us? Because I like how you said, as a striker, you need to convert your chances. You said chances. You added an S. Yeah. You know why? Because you said plural. There was no chances for Cesco today. Yeah. We're judging him on one chance. We are never, nor than you're on mute. You're never gonna fairly judge a striker when he basically doesn't get enough times to put the ball in the back of the net. I believe on average, a good striker scores every 1 to 3 chances created. 3 to 4 chances created for them. So you score 1. That's the type of conversion rate that Haaland has.
Yeah,
Haaland misses a lot of chances. Do you watch Haaland? Go watch that. Was it Villa the other week?
Yeah,
put him 1-on-1 twice in consecutive times. And he missed both his 1-on-1s. That's Haaland, who we consider the best striker in the world, or one of the best in the world. I think you could only worry about Cesco when you look at him, you're like, I don't see some good football fundamentals in you.
Facts.
However, what Jarvis said, that I'm very happy that he said it, because it's kind of good to hear a confirmation from someone, is that I thought the same thing. He is playing like he's still in the Bundesliga. Yes. And this was my take today. I said tomorrow, I mean, he's now injured, but in general, I was just trying to say, just bring this guy in, put him in an office or a classroom or whatever in Carrington, and just have him study Robin Van Persie footage. Look how many times Van Persie just hit a ball first time. Today, if he hits that ball first time, I swear that even if he misses or the goalkeeper saves it, I say, you know what? You still work the goalkeeper. He likes to shoot, and I like that about him. But he needs to understand that whatever he was doing in the Bundesliga, he needs to do it here in the Premier League twice as fast. Because I guess what, guys? Like, no disrespect, though. Like, we need to understand Van de Ven, in my opinion, he's a very top center back. His recovery pace and his recovery time in general is top-notch. I consider this guy a top 10 defender in the league in Europe because of the way he plays. So for him to recover real quick and do that, that is still very good defending. However, I'm not going to take away from the fact that Cesco, with a little bit more urgency, he arguably
Not
scores.
even urgency. That first touch should have taken him across Van de Ven. He messed up that first touch, and then
I agree with
as a striker, right? As a striker,
I agree with you. He should have shielded the ball better.
Yeah.
I think he showed too much of the ball. If you want to take a touch, I think take it a little bit more to your left and hit it with your left. I've seen him try to shoot with his left before. A couple games ago, he took a touch and actually went a little bit too wide for him, so he kind of messed up his angle. These are little things that you can get lucky with in games. However, though, I think we can only panic when we look at a striker who's been getting so many chances and he's not converting them because he's doing the basic fundamentals wrong. I think he does his movement is good. Don't forget, by the way, that chance was even created because he was able to flick the ball onto Mount, made the runner. So that whole thing started with him. When we got when Chelsea got the sending off to us when we played them early in the season, it was because of his ball into Mbeumo.
Facts.
I believe it was the Brighton game. He assisted one of the goals with his hold-up play to Mbeumo. Yeah. These are things that I notice in his game. Obviously, it's going to still frustrate him that he's not getting the goals. That's what strikers want. But these are things I've never seen from Holland. Even last game, when we played Force, he had 2 shots. The fact that he received the ball, one of those shots was outside the box. I think we all thought it was going in because he just ripped one from outside the box and it went wide. And there was a chance he had the beginning of the game where arguably he should have let it run to Bruno, but he tried to hit it first time. These are striker instincts that he has that I didn't see in Højlund. This is why I've never believed in Højlund, because I felt like the basic fundamentals are there. But like Jarvis said, when the only thing I got to teach you is, listen, you got to treat this league as a top level league compared to the Bundesliga. You have to be more physical. That's one thing I'll criticize him for. Yes. When God gives you a frame where you're 6'5", with pace and agility, you need to utilize that. God can't give you an attribute like that and you're not putting it to use. If you're fast, you have to run fast. If you're physical, you have to be physical. If you're tall, you got to jump high. When he's not doing these little things, I'll call it out, because you have to be able. You can't be getting bullied by Milinkovic last week. You can't be getting bullied by Van de Ven and Romero. These are things he's gonna learn. Don't forget, this guy's what, 21.
Yes. This was there are some things
concern I had on him because of his age.
There are certain things you cannot teach, right? When you're a striker in the Premier League, you need to have a certain level of explosiveness about you. Like when your departure is like your departure off the block, even if you have to run off the shoulder. Not any defender should be able to catch you with a recovery pace. When I look at him, maybe it's just me, but when I see him, I don't see him being that much of an explosive striker. That's number one. Number two,
you don't have to be explosive to play in the Premier League. I disagree with you.
How
many strikers have we seen in the Premier League that weren't explosive?
Yeah, but for the style that we're playing, he has to be explosive, because Amorim is pragmatic by nature. We're not going to have that build up through the middle where they're going to pull him through. One-on-one.
That's fine. We didn't sign him for Amorim. We signed him for his potential. Like I think he works under a lot of managers.
The thing is, we didn't sign Cesco to be the main guy. Like we really just think he didn't. Like it was meant to be Mbeumo and Cunha were meant to be the main guys that get all the goals and get all the assists. You know what we're seeing right now from Cesco is night and day what we've seen under Højlund. Like bro, like his first touch is levels ahead of Højlund. Is the fact he's getting assists is next level. That's what you want to see in a striker. Yes, I think he needs to be a wee bit more greedy. Yeah, I seen that there was that shot he had in Nottingham Forest, and actually it was a scary shot. So it was so close to going in. And I'm like, oh my days, that was an unbelievable shot. So it was, but I just think he just needs to, like you said, Jarvis, I think you were absolutely spot on there. He thinks he's still in the Bundesliga, and I think he just needs to, obviously sit down with, like, say, Van Persie if he came in, and just, go over his clips and stuff, and just most importantly, just keep that physicality up. Obviously, I think he needs to be a wee bit more aggressive at times, like in the tackles, and obviously when he's carrying the ball. But like I said, man, like I just think the reason why our players don't pass to Cesco much is not because of like oh, I don't rate you. It's just basically, in my opinion, when Mbeumo and Cunha and Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad have the ball, they're thinking, who the fuck are you? Like I'm the main guy. You only just arrived here. I'm meant to be the main guy, not you. And this is why I get on to Ahmad and Bumo, Cunha, Bruno. Stop being greedy. Pass to the striker, just like what Haaland gets, just like what Gyökeres gets. You know, everyone always has to find the striker, and like the striker will always be the main guy. But in this sense, he wasn't really brought in to be the main guy. This is why I said
Ben,
you should have brought in a
before
spirit.
we can draw the comparison of with Ruben Van Persie. Ruben Van Persie has some intangible that you can't teach, unfortunately.
Right, I didn't compare them. I said he should learn off him.
Learn. Yeah.
The ability, right? The ability of Ruben Van Persie to strike the ball, and is not something you can teach. And the also the fact that he knows instinctively where the goal is something that I've only seen matched by for Manchester United by Mason Greenwood, and it's not something that just comes with any striker. I just think Cesco, like the one intangible, at least that will make him like at least be a nuisance to defenders, which is be a bit more or less slow on his movement. He doesn't have that fast twitch muscle that will at least give him that half space that he needs to get his shot off, and that's what I'm worried about.
But this
Luani,
I
was just going to say to Luani, I think this is that's something you definitely can be taught, you know, how to finish and finish quick. You know, we all have heard the old story about Ronaldo and Rene Mullenstein when he took him after training and talked to him, and you know, he said, "You want to be the best in the world?" And Ronaldo repeated, "Yeah, sure." And he showed him, "Okay, you have to watch this." You know, I'm paraphrasing. Maybe this story is wrong. So first of all, yes, Ronaldo, okay, how many goals do you want to score next season? And Ronaldo said, yeah, I scored 15 goals this season, so let's say 25. That's a nice progress. And then Rene Mullenstein came in and said, okay, what about 40? 40, that's too much.
Yeah.
No, okay, watch this video. So we had him to see, I think it was Van Nistelrooy's finishes, 50 goals of Van Nistelrooy, and he had to tell Rene Mullenstein what he saw. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, he understood he needed to finish on the first touch. He needs to be in the right place. And after that, you know, the rest is history. We know Ronaldo, how good he is, especially at his height. So I think you can learn this. But, you know, obviously you need special abilities and skills. But I think Cesco can be as good as he wants, you know, but he needs to figure out how to angle his body, be in the right place. But I like his instincts, actually. I like his instinct. I think he's quite quick in his head. He understands quick what the situation is. If you look at his movement in the box, you know, even if he's not finishing, he's in the right place a lot of the time. So I think Cesco can be better, and it's not a big worry for me. But he needs someone to learn from.
And like I said as well, like, you know, we've had people in the past, you know, obviously when we had Greenwood, Martial, who did they look up to? We had Ibrahimovic, an outstanding striker. We had Cristiano Ronaldo come back to the club, insane. Like, you know, we've had play, like even in midfield as well. We had Schweinsteiger, you know, in the midfield. Like, just, it's always nice for a striker, especially, to come to a club and you have, like, I always called the father, you know, the father, like, looking up to you, like, oh my days, like, you know, I want to learn so much off you. You've done so much in the game. Like, imagine if Ronaldo was still here and Cesco was like the second striker. Like, you know, it'd be a dream come true, and it'd be absolutely amazing if Cesco can learn some of the stuff off Ronaldo. But sadly, we just don't have an experienced striker right now in the squad, and I think it's going to take longer for Cesco to adapt in the league, and obviously to adapt in the system, man. But I just think we need to give the kid time. I've seen more than enough what Højlund did, and I'm all for it, man. I'm gonna support him 100%. I watched him at the Windsor Park game when over now playing against Slovenia. I thought he was very dangerous at times. I was like, oh, this guy's gonna shoot, but every shot he was taking, it was very close to the goal. But I'm seeing so many positives about Cesco. He just needs to improve his physicality, and hopefully, you know, it's just a shame we don't have an experienced striker, man. It's just the reality.
We can talk about Erasmus and things that he did and he didn't do. I've seen Erasmus run the length of the pitch and dink a goalkeeper before he went cold. So I just don't know about Cesco, but we shall see. We're all here. The Premier League is full of defenders that make adjustments. They're very physical, they're fast, and they're smart. So we will see.
We will
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Guys, I'm not sure if Northern is coming back. Let's do a quick round around the table and wrap up the show. Last topic. I want to talk about Casemiro and our reliance on Casemiro, because we can clearly see as soon as we sub him off, we suffer. Ugarte, Mainu, Bruno, and mostly it's about physicality and positional awareness. I think Casemiro has a lot of experience when it comes to this, and he knows to be in the right place in the right time, because we play way too open, but we have a guy who actually understands this and plugs all the holes. So it's a hard man to replace. And what are we going to do around the rest of the season? Because at the moment we are sitting ducks as soon as we sub Casemiro. So how is Amorim going to fix this?
Go ahead, Luana. You go first.
Like I say, Casemiro has been our best player for a few games now. And every time he got subbed off, it coincides with the time that we lose control of the game. Now, how is Amorim going to fix that? Definitely with the help of the board, or if in January they have to bring in somebody that if he put in his 60 minutes and give us his experience, they can sub him off with somebody with equal progress ability to progress the ball and with more energy. I'm fine with that. But meanwhile, Amorim should start thinking about a way to make that midfield work. And for me, the best option is to try to garnish the midfield with try to get Kobe Mino on track. Try his best to move Bruno out of the double pivot, because as far as I'm concerned, that combination is causing some issues. So with Mbomo and Ahmad going to the AFCON, I think Bruno can be moved around, maybe to the right 10. And at that point, I believe a midfield three of Casemiro, Kobe Mino, and instructionally Cunha dropping into that midfield. That would be the most. That will actually give us another dimension. That's a solution that I think Amorim should try.
But then you have to. Yeah, sorry, Ben.
Yeah, no worries. I think what Luani's just spot on there. Now we know that Cesco is going to be probably injured. I don't know how bad the injury is, but let's say a couple of weeks. Right now we're in the start of November. So if Cesco was injured, I would love to see Mainu and Casemiro in the double pivot. I think what we've got to do right now is just get as many results as we can until the January window. And we just need to go all in for midfielders and probably even a left wing back. If we do that, I think we will see a much better United side, a much more positional sense side in terms of the double pivot. That's realistically the issue with when Casemiro comes off. It's like the positional sense in Ugarte and Bruno is just all over the show. And yes, obviously I do believe Ugarte is not the worst positional sense, but when you have someone as electric as Bruno, and obviously Ugarte is electric too, it just doesn't help solidify the actual midfield itself. So I just think, hopefully, as much as I think Cesco shouldn't be rushed back because it did look a bad injury. I would love to see Kobe Mainu come into the team and maybe Bruno go up towards 10. I'll probably drop Cunha next game. He hasn't been himself, but we just need to get through to January, man. And I think Amorim just needs results.
Yeah, I think for me the issue is playing with Bruno, and he's all over the place. He's too offensive in his thoughts and how he plays the game. So again, I said we have Casemiro and he covers for Bruno's weaknesses, but you can't play Ugarte with Bruno. You can't play Mainu with Bruno. So the only viable option is if Casemiro is not playing, you have to play Ugarte and Mainu. Then you can't play Bruno in the 6 or 8. It won't work. And I think we have seen this now so many times, and it's it will hurt Amorim in the long run, and not just Amorim. It will hurt Man United. We will drop points every time Casemiro comes off. So I'm not sure what Amorim is supposed to do, but he needs to do something. We can't keep going like this. And we've seen it. We saw it in the Brighton game. We saw it in the Forest game. We see it. No, not the Forest game. He didn't. He only did one sub then. But again, I feel we are lost without Casemiro. And to be honest, I don't rate Casemiro that high. I think he has a lot of weaknesses, but it's his spider sense sometimes, and he covers up. So that's why.
You see today, Van der Ven tried to run past him today, but he just blocked him. So he's good at that.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if Mumbai is here. I sent you a couple of chats in the private chat. Oh, you're here. Oh,
hello, Darth Vader.
Casemiro, man, we have to. Ugarte, there was a moment where I thought we were onto something, but I don't know. He's too limited for me.
Yes.
Too limited for me. Casemiro's a better player. We're going to need to replace Casemiro. The board knows that. The next transfer window is going to be focused on midfield. I think we're all pretty sure we're going to bring one in. We just have to get there. We just have to get there. When Amad and Mbeumo go, it's an opportunity. It's a loss, but it's an opportunity to see, okay, how do we fill that gap? Maybe you're going to stumble onto something. It's bad to lose them. They're two of our, better players. But this team, guys, I'm not too sure. I'm just going along with it week by week, and I do feel more positive recently. And at the moment, it's important that we are getting these points. I just think that either we're going to turn a corner and we're going to actually get better than we have already gotten, or we're just going to stand still and we're going to start kicking off again. I don't know yet. I can't take too much away from today's game, to be honest. I really can't. No. I need to see the next one. I just need to see the next one. But I am personally in a better place with Man United than I was last year, let's put it that way. We're 10 games in, I think, now. We're there or thereabouts. And the first half, to me, at 22 minutes, we kind of took over the game, seeing it to the half time, was looking good. But this second half thing has happened twice in 2 weeks, where the problem is we're just not able to, when we are getting attacked, if we stand up, we're not able to punch back. We're not giving anything back. It's like a fighter who's taking licks. He's not going to go down, but he's not giving anything back. And you can't get a foothold back into the game and just neutralize things and get it on an even keel again. It gets away from us to the point where we're scrambling, we're deeper. Is Amorim saying to them, go deep and just break? I don't know. I don't know, because we were quite deep today. It did get quite deep, and there's more long than I would have liked. I understand why you might want to bypass midfield today. But again, we can't just be like Staff was saying. He did make a good point to me when I said that. You have to fight. You have to have that desire every week. You have to come with energy. But it's not going to be just about winning second balls.
No. That's
just one part of it. That's a key part. But we do have to keep improving, man, the team. That's our problem. We're losing a foothold of the game, and we're struggling to arrest that situation. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And it's inevitable. The defense under a lot of pressure. And there's too many crosses getting into our box too easily at the moment, man.
Yes, I agree. That's good.
I just think Amorim does have to be brave.
Let me just, with Dogu, bro, you've seen the good and you've seen the bad. I thought it started pretty bad and then it got better. But man, it's a work in progress. But I'm on board with it, to be honest, at this moment. I've got not too many issues. If if every time we lose a game, this is going to be the reaction, we're going to lose games. We're going to drop more points as we're trying to grow and improve and things like, that Cesco is a good example of somebody that I like. I think there's a lot of good things there. I like the way that for such a big man, he actually makes good runs and is onside. He presses pretty well. I think he's got a really good touch, to be honest. I don't. I thought Haaland was all right, but this guy takes it in. And,
you see Haaland. The one thing Haaland got is when the ball go to him, you see how explosive for a big man he is. How explosive he's a freak of nature. That's fine. When we lose Ahmad and Mbomo, I think this is the opportunity for Amorim to be brave. And if he plays his card right, we'll have a brand different team on our hand. Because if Bruno move in that right 10, which he already make, if you watch the game today, he was already making striker run on that side of the pitch. He have a situation today where he made the run, but Ahmad was hugging the ball a bit too much, and Ahmad was back to goal. What Ahmad should have done is pass that ball to Casemiro, who was already facing the play and can see Bruno, but Ahmad didn't pass the ball in one touch to Casemiro. That could have put Bruno in right away. So there are situations like that Bruno is already accustomed to making those runs from that area of the channel. So if he's moved into that area, I think we'll be all right. And then in the middle of the pitch, you just have to have a combination of Kobe, Casemiro, and ask whoever is playing in that left end, whether he's Mason Mount or Cunha, to drop into the midfield and then help out a little bit. I think we will be fine.
Bro, look, this is an opportunity for the Manus, the Mounts, the Xerxes of this world to make a claim. The boys are gone for 20 days, maybe a bit more if they go far in the tournament. It's a long time, man. It's like over the Christmas period, December to January, lots of games. It's a chance for you to steal a place in this team.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
and I think last thing I'd say, I'm guilty of this. When you're watching a game, sometimes maybe you're unconsciously biased. Like I'll watch Bruno, for example, and I'll think, "Right, that was something." That's it. He's had a good game in my mind. That can happen. Cesco today, maybe the first touch is bad, and that just sticks. That ingrains. I'm not questioning the credibility of what anybody's opinion is, but I do think that does tend to happen, where you see the good and you kind of miss the other stuff. I do it.
Yeah, somebody asked a question on the chat, so I don't know.
What's the question?
Yeah, there was a question in the chat. Let me just, I think it was Ian McDonald who put in a question. Where is it? Too many comments here. Yeah, here it is. Question for the panel. Do United have the means to get the place needed to get Amorim's system going? Yeah. Boumaier, you can start.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we're still attracting. We haven't won anything in 10 years. We're still attracting, that are coveted, and we can pay the money. It's still a massive draw to play to United, and it's a project, man. It's a project. Yeah. There's lots going on, backroom, stadium. We're trying to build something here. Jav, look, man, you said something a few weeks ago. It's going to take time, but do we have the patience for it to develop and do whatever it's going to do? I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I'm quietly on board. I'm not upset too much. I accept today, and we see where we go.
I think for this question, it's typical, man. I like I said to Staffy and to everyone and to Nerd, I just would love to see Man United play 5 games with any two midfielders you can mention. Like obviously we've been linked to Wharton, we've been linked to Anderson from Nottingham Forest. I'd love to see them two, or just some like two midfielders, should we say, who are defensively minded, just like Casemiro, and obviously good on the ball. And also a left wing back. If we have them three addressed, then I can then answer realistically that question, Ian McDonald. But right now, I don't really know, because right now, like the biggest issue right now is the midfield and the left wing back situation. But from the forward speculative, I think we've progressed in that sense because we have strengthened. You know, and Bumo's just a breath of fresh air, man. That's 5 goals now he's scored, and long may continue. Hopefully Cunha picks his form up, and obviously, like I said, with Cesco, man. But I'm on for it, man. Like Bombay said, I think it is going to take time. And I think what Man United need to do this season is to finish maybe top 6 to top 8, like somewhere between them two, because I don't believe this squad can finish in the top 5 or top 4. But yeah.
To answer the question, I think yes, the ball have the mean to get among his players, but the real question is, we need a double pivot, and then we need a left wing back. Now we all know Captain Magnifico hold that position, and we also know that Obrigado Dalo also hold the second position. Now the real question is, will Amorim have the cojones to bench Captain Magnifico and Obrigado if they got him the right players? And also the other ones are about the league and the fact that you guys it take time. Of course, it will take time to cook something good, but even if you do have the time and then you end up cooking something good, it's not a guarantee that you win anything in this league because before you could be successful, you have to be able to be consistent, performing very well, and you have to have an element of luck and an element of hard work to it. If anything, Arsenal is the indication. They've been working hard for 4 years, 5 years now. They've always been there, but they've always finished as a bridesmaid. So, yeah, time alone won't be enough.
Yeah. What do you think, Jarvis?
Well, all 3 of you answered the question brilliantly. So, I think I agree a little bit when I think it's Danny B, Irish Pit Terrier, comes in and say we are 25% through the rebuild.
Yeah, I think
so
so
we
too.
need another 75% for us to be competitive. And when I talk about competitive, we also speak about us playing 2 games a week. Have a full squad. Now we barely have a starting 11. That's functional, and for us to compete playing 2 games a week. We saw last year us playing Europa League. We had to choose because we see how we lost against Grimsby playing the reserves. Grimsby, level 4 or something. And that tells you a lot about our squad. So 25% through, and even that is generous. So we have a long way to go. Ineos and the Glazers and the board and everybody who has control over the money of Man United needs to get going. And we can't wait until the summer. We need signings ASAP. We need at least 2 or maybe 3 signings ready to go players in January for us even to think about getting a top 6, 7. And I think it will be a tough one. And now we are on a high. We have played 5 games without losing, and this is the as good as it gets. And it could get worse. Our key players, Cunha and Bumo, could lose form and stop scoring for 6, 7 games. What then? Who is going to carry us? So again, people got to realize it's a long way to go, and getting a point away against Spurs, maybe at the end of the day, we shouldn't complain. We haven't beat them since 2022, so it's been a long while. Lost the last 4 games.
I'll complain. Jarvis. They are shit. They are bad. They have their own mutiny going on. They have their own mutiny.
I know, but at least they have a spine in their team that's solid. Palinha, Sar, as I said, Romero, the goalkeeper, and Van de Ven. So it takes you a long way. If you have a really good spine. So we need to build this spine.
You know who I'm worried about? Nuno Espirito Santos with West Ham. He might just have found a team that is tailor-fitted to him. Watch out for that guy.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Obviously, we're disappointed we didn't get the result today, man. And maybe a draw might help us. But, if you look at, the next few games for Man United, we've got Everton at home. I think Crystal Palace away, that is going to be a massive game too. I think if we go and get a result, that's huge. That's probably a 6-pointer. Then we've got obviously Nuno at Old Trafford, then Wolves, who have been struggling all season, then the Bournemouth at Old OT. I think the most important thing going into this Christmas period is we just constantly keep winning those home games. If we get those home games under control,
That's the
I think
key.
I think we will be okay because like I said, we've got even as I said, Bournemouth at home to OT, and then we're letting into Newcastle in Boxing Day at Old Trafford. And like I said, man, like I just think as you said, Jarvis, I think we've just got to get this home record or home.
But the thing is, Ben, we are not consistent. We've seen it now. Against Fulham. Fulham, we probably should have lost at the end of the day. We were up 1-0. We saw it against Forest. We saw it against Brighton. We were up 3-0. Suddenly, we made a couple of subs. 3-2, and it was a squeaky bum time, and we scored the final winner. I think in the 19th minute or something. So again, now we see it against Spurs. It's not a coincidence. This is how we are. We are up and down. We are a roller coaster of a team. We rely on certain individuals, and when we have to sub them off, if they get injured, if they lose form, we will struggle. And this is where we are at the moment. So people, as Hussein coming in and say, Jarvis, this team isn't far off. Ruben Amorim's project is working. Yes, in a way, you are right. It's working. But as Danny B said, we are only 25% in. You got to remember, we are Man United. We are supposed to be in Europe. We should compete on all fronts. So playing 2, maybe sometimes 3 games a week, we are nowhere near that level. We don't have the place. We don't have the squad. But, it's been a great show. I don't think Noradin's coming back. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in and all the legends in the chat. I'm not going to give a fiery speech as Noradin do at the end of the show every time. I don't know how to do it, but, maybe Boombaye and Ben want to do the honor.
I'll let Darth Vader do it.
Also, Glazers out, Ineos out, always. No, on a serious note, if I'm gonna honor Dino, I'll do it properly. So, free Palestine.
Yes, bro.
Peace in the Sudan. Let the United Arab Emirates and everybody else that is complicit in that really, really bad war just, stop, man. Peace in the Congo. Just, man, look, peace and unity. Life is short, and these people are sending. They don't send their own children and their own family members to these wars. They send ours. It's like Muhammad Ali said. The late great Muhammad Ali said, "I've got no problem with the Vietnamese. My problems are right here at home."
True. Yes, sir.
You're gonna send me. You're gonna send a black man to go and kill a brown man he never met, who's never done him no wrong. You are my oppressors here at home. So, do you know what? I just because what tends to happen is these young boys go into the military, they go to these wars, or they're convinced by some radical bullshit to go. And that as well stems from the Emirates and the Saudi states, all this radicalization. It's in all the religions. And then they go, and even if you go to the army, you ask yourself later on, you come home, you've got no leg, you've got no arm, you've got no eye, you've got no life. Like, what the fuck did you go for? What did we achieve in Iraq? What have we achieved in Palestine? What are you achieving in Sudan? All for oil and gold and resource and vantage point. These are not honorable wars. None of these wars are honorable causes. The people that are resisting, they are resisting because they have no other choice. It's either might is right. We just want to tell them what to do, so they resist, and then we vilify them for resisting. This is the tactic. When you go and bomb and kill people, it's okay, but because those rich wars done by Trump and these guys, they're done from afar, plane bombs. So it's all right. But when you go and you kill him, using the cutlasses, a poor man's war, then you say these people are backwards, these people are troglodytes. You vilify people in their own torment, in their own plight. This is wrong. This is all bad. So listen, end of the day, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what color you are, man. If you walk on 2 feet, you're a man, and there's good and bad everywhere. You're gonna get what you put out there. So it's peace, it's love, and it's Bruno Fernandes. That's what it is.
I just want to leave you. I just want to leave you guys with a quote. Just want to leave you guys with a quote. With these young Marines that I met in North Carolina. He was deploying in Iraq, and I asked him what was his experience, and he told me. He said, "You know what they say about the war, right? Is old men talking and young men dying." So that kind of stuck with me.
Yeah,
So,
and I just
sorry, Ben. The most important thing is Zionism is not the religion of Moses. Has nothing to do with him. Zionism is a racist death cult that believes in its own superiority, and it believes at any cost, as you can see in Palestine, that they have a right that is more than the right of anybody that is not the way they interpret Judaism, which is totally terrible. Don't equate it. Jews are not the enemy of anybody, neither are Muslims, neither are Christians, neither are atheists. It don't matter. It don't matter. But that Zionism, man, is a death cult, as Dino says it.
Yes. And I'd just like to give a big shout out there. Tonight, it was breaking news. It's all over the Sky and BBC. Even though I hate the BBC, Ireland, the Republic of Ireland's FA have voted overwhelmingly against for the UEFA to ban Israel from club and international competitions. And the big up, I just want to big up to the Irish. Every single one that stand with Palestine, with Norway too, that stand with Palestine, and to the South Africans too. They're a big supporter in Palestine too. Big up to Lesso, by the way. I don't know I haven't seen Lesko in a while.
AKA Denzel.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Bombay is spot on there, people. Like I said, people think Zionists are Jews and all this. No, Jews are lovely people. But Zionists are everywhere. They're in Christians, Catholics, atheists, Muslims, Hindu, everywhere. They're everywhere and around the whole world, and they're ruining this world. What we're seeing right now in Gaza, in Sudan, in Congo, everywhere we're seeing it. But yeah, big up everyone.
Big up. Umbaye, do you want to answer this question quick before we wrap up?
Jet125, welcome to the channel. But if you not just want football, then this is probably not going to be the channel for you, because that encore is a ritual on this channel. We're not just about football; we're about human rights and everything that comes with it. Are we ever going to see this face? Well, you don't want to see this face, mate. We don't want
to see the face relieved of the Mr. Darth Vader.
Eventually, Luke Skywalker's seen his father's face.
The Premier League, it's happening.
You heard it, people. You heard it.
May the force be with you.
Yes.
May the force be with you.
Thank you, guys. It's been a great show. We are on about 136 likes. If you haven't, please smash the like. If this was your first time on United Real Therapy, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification. Nordin is going live almost every day, and you will see guys like Ben and Luani and Boumaye coming on and having their say. And we will talk politics and we will talk football. It's a great channel for you guys. So please do Nordin a favor and subscribe. So yes, that's the end of the show. He will probably go live tomorrow night, so you will see us then. Have a good night, everybody, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.